Oh!
That's right, we're here. We're live. We are the MMA-holes. Muscles are here. You're here with Chris and John on a Wednesday night, a debate night. We debated on doing the show, and there was no debate. The MMA-holes, we move on. Maybe I'll watch the debate later, but we have Trump versus Hillary tonight in the octagon, and I'm in the cage tonight. We have Johnny down below. My name is Chris, and there's John. Welcome to the show, Johnny.
What's up? What's up? I'm watching the Rangers. I can give a shit less about the debate.
Yeah, Rangers, Red Wings. That's another one. I think I might have to put that on in the corner too, because might be some beef going on with that one. The Rangers versus the Red Wings. Hey, look, Dan the Man. I'm writing a petition for McGregor to hold both titles. What's up, guys? McGregor with both titles. Dan the Man is writing a petition for it, and I will sign. I want him to hold every title. I want every weight class, every belt on McGregor's shoulder, because McGregor is.
If he does, it's going to be rough for him to keep both belts.
I'm going to wrap one on one shoulder, I'm going to wrap the other on the other shoulder, and you're going to need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
That's right. Good thing I had that queued up for Dan the Man, huh? So here we go. We're going to start off the show with the latest and greatest of news by this man.
Well, right now I'm free agent. You hear it right. I'm free agent. My lawyer terminate the contract with the UFC.
Yes, my favorite. John, you know who that is?
It's either a terrorist or GSP.
That's right. It's GSP. You win, John. GSP. Yeah, you know me. Is a free agent. All right. We're going to start the show off about GSP. There's a lot of speculation about this guy. He goes on Ariel Helwani's show and says, I am a free agent and I divide you. And Ariel Helwani is like, oh my God. The best part about that is as GSP is talking to him, if you rewatch it, all you hear is clicking on the keyboard as Ariel Helwani is frantically emailing and tweeting at the same time as GSP is that. But John, let's hear your take on this situation. Is GSP a free agent? Is he going to leave the UFC, or is he going to is he playing possum, or what is he doing? What's the deal with Mr. St-Pierre?
I mean, I know there's an article I didn't get to read yet about 5 reasons why he's staying with the UFC, but I would guess that it's probably a money thing and he's trying to pinch them for a little more. See how much McGregor's making, and he's like, I want bigger paydays if I'm going to fight. I'm a big draw. That's my guess. I could be totally wrong about that, but I think he's looking for bigger contracts, and I don't think the UFC is going to be throwing $1 million contracts to everybody.
So you're thinking that he's just playing around and he's just looking for some more cash, more moolah to put in his pocket, and he's just playing games.
That's my opinion. I could be totally off base on that one.
Well, that's a good opinion because, you know, when I first heard it, I was like, holy crap, he's gone. He's leaving. Bellator, take him now. And then I started to soak in the info, started listening to other people. And one of my heroes, Chael Sonnen, has a show. And I was listening to Chael, and Chael said he made pretty much a similar point that you made, John, saying that he actually went a step further. He says that, like Dana White said, he doesn't want to fight. He has no interest in fighting again. He just wants more money. He wants to stay relevant and keep his name on everyone's tongue. And, you know, listening to that, That's kind of interesting because does this guy really want to fight? Is this guy, I mean, it looks like he's training, but is he in fight shape? Is he ready to jump back into that octagon? Or is he just playing around, wants to pop bottles and keep that name out there so he, people are still talking about him and he's still getting paid? I'm curious on how that works. Would you like to see St-Pierre fight again, John?
If you want the honest truth, I can give a shit less if he fights again. But it makes total sense what Sonnen said and what everybody's saying is he's getting movie deals because of who he was as a fighter. If he becomes irrelevant, suddenly the movie deals, all that stuff goes away quick. So you're right. Maybe he is or Sonnen's right. Maybe he is just doing it to keep his name in the ring, just because he won't have it. Nobody wants him then. It's like Rousey. Everybody, she had all these movie deals, and then suddenly, you don't hear anything about her anymore. Commercials are dwindling down. It's a little weird.
Ronda Rousey.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's Conor McGregor talking about Ronda Rousey. He thinks about Ronda Rousey.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Dan the Man says, let's see. I see Dan the Man chiming in. He says, my guess is he's gone. And Indians advanced to the World Series. Congratulations, Dan the Man. Cleveland is killing it. I mean, I'm actually rooting for the Indians. I want the Indians to pull it off. That'd be pretty awesome to see them win. F the Cubs. Fook the Cubs.
Cubs went against the Dodgers.
What's that?
Cubs are losing to the Dodgers right now.
So great.
They didn't even get past that.
It's so weird. I don't feel bad for the Cubs at all. Who cares? I kind of want to see the Indians do it. So Dodgers, Indians, anybody call that? So GSP, I was hoping this would be a perfect world for me. I want to see GSP go to Bellator. I want to see him go there. I want to see him go to the circus and be the big cheese in Bellator and be that big Canadian that pulls, the major names and stuff like that and just dominate over there in Bellator and be competitive, make Bellator more competitive to the UFC. As much as I love the UFC and I think the UFC is way far superior, it would just be fun to see the competition between Bellator and the UFC. And if St-Pierre goes over there, that would be insane. With that being said, the UFC is never going to let that happen. Never. And Chael Sonnen might be right. He might be just playing around, just want to squeeze some more money out and just fade away into the sunset. Into the sunset. So that's that. So, I mean, I don't know. Would you want to see him? Would you watch GSP if he went to Bellator? Would that gain your attention? Because I know you're not a huge Bellator guy, but if he went over there, would that be more of a reason to watch Bellator for you at least?
I think that it would definitely. Well, when Bellator has good cards, I don't mind watching it. The problem is they don't televise enough. It's hard to really get into them because, like, if they're not on Spike every week. They pop up, once a month. Like, I know they got an event this week, so it's like if it was a little easier to follow them, I think I'd be more into it. I don't think it's so much that I don't like the Bellator. I just think it's harder to follow. And yeah, I think GSP would help, but they've taken some pretty good talent from the UFC. The Rory McDonald's, once he gets going, and I'm not a big Phil Davis guy. He's boring as shit, and we know that kid Chandler's good. They got some good kids going on there. I could see them moving. Get a guy like GSP. I could see them definitely. The UFC will definitely be sweating. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I would like to see the UFC sweat as well. I'm into watching the UFC sweat, and it would be interesting. I see what you're saying about Bellator because Bellator is all over the place. Like they don't really have like a ranking system. This is like a tournament style, and then they have crazy stuff like the Chael Sonnen versus Ortiz. Tito Ortiz. Now, I'm in. Lock it up. I am in for this. I heard a chime in. Johnny, what'd you think?
I would definitely. I'm gonna definitely watch that fight. It's like watching the when Ken Shamrock fought Gracie, and even though it was just two old guys, you still gotta watch it. It's just there. Yeah,
I would love to see Chael Sonnen mutilate Ortiz. I know Ortiz is, he's been there, done that, but I think it'd be fun watching Sonnen go in there and talk smack, and it would just be fun to watch. My cage is white today. I have a white cage with black cage with a white inside. Last time I had a black inside, a warm black inside. Now I have a nice warm white inside. We're all inside the white today. Like Lou Thomas has a wrinkled white background. I have a wrinkled white background. Say that 5 times. Wrinkled white background. Wrinkled white. I can't say it. A reason I think USP might. Oh, I'm thinking he's saying GSP. GSP might stay, though, is because it's a legacy thing. And what's up, Joey Mouth? Joey Mouth is here. Welcome, Joey Mouth, to the chat. Guys, I can't believe you're not watching the debate. I can't believe you're watching the MMA-holes instead of the debate. FOOK the debate. Let's just talk about the UFC. Maybe a little bit of hockey because, like John said, the Rangers are playing. We can talk about anything you want. But we're going to talk about a lot of MMA because we have some news. We have a lot of news going on. GSP, Dan the Man says, a reason I think GSP will stay, though, is because of a legacy thing. Yeah, I got what you said. A legacy thing. So, Dan, do you think that GSP will fight again? Do you think he will fight again, or is he just blowing smoke and just wants his name out there? That's an interesting thing. Like, I'm interested to see how that. No need for the whoops, Dan. We got you. We got you covered. I'm interested to see what you think. I was going one way. I'm like, this guy's going to Bellator. Lock it up. He's going to Bellator. And you hear guys like Chael Sonnen talk and say he's never going to fight again. And then you got the UFC saying he's going nowhere. So I'm really curious to see what's happening. So that is the GSP, and we're going to talk real quick, really quick. John, I got an update on next Tuesday. Okay, so here is the update. Mike is going to jump in a little bit. He has a family function right now, and he's hanging out in a family function. Next Tuesday, what we're trying to do is have a live stream from the Chris Weidman, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson photo shoot. Okay. Now here's the problem. They don't want us to do an MMA-hole stream there because we might take everything over. So what they want to do is have us broadcast for Gotham Magazine. That's what they're saying. I don't know if we're going to do that. I'm not sure. So what we're trying to do is have a simulcast thing. We're trying to have the MMA-holes, the magazine, and smush it together as one lovely simulcast where the MMA-holes hang out with these magazine people and we all talk together as a family. When Mike comes on, I'm going to talk the details. We're going to talk some more stuff about that, and that would be interesting and lovely. John, I'm babbling. But how does that sound, John? What do you think, like, as a collaboration, as the MMA-holes, and we got some magazine stuff, and we smush it together and have a simulcast where we have a camera here and a camera there. We just talk to everybody. What do you think, Johnny?
I think if that's the option, I think you take it. I don't see a reason not to.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. When what we would have is have the MMA-holes take over their side, show some love to the magazine, and then we drag the magazine over to the MMA-holes, and we have everyone having love. There's love all over the place, and that's how that's going to work. So I got a question. Do you guys prefer the white background or the black background? I like the black background better, but the white background brings out everything. It makes everything bright and lovely. So,
well, you're so pale, you're actually camouflaging into the back right now.
I'm like a chameleon. It's like what's left of my beard is just floating in air. It's weird now not having his beard over here. It feels I'm cold. I'm chilly. I need a hug. I need a cup of tea. So that's pretty much that. So when Mike comes in later on, we're going to discuss more of this. John, we're going to have you take control of the chat if you are off. Are you off next Tuesday, John, or what time do you get out of work if you do have work?
I won't be out till at least 5.
Till 5. Okay. It's a whole day process, so I'm hoping we could do it where everyone could be aboard. When Mike comes in, we'll find out the details, and it's gonna be fun. I'm also brainstorming for when these weigh-ins, when 205, that fight week happens. I want to do an MMA-hole meetup where we just storm outside, and start a rally. Maybe give out shirts and give out condoms.
Or
what do you think, John? Should we hand out MMA-hole condoms? What do you think?
yes. We'll put a whole.
And everyone gets pregnant with our condoms with MMA-hole goodness. Our condoms do the reverse. It creates families and more MMA-holes. I was gonna say fans, but we're not fans. We're family. So that's how that works. MMA-holes.
So in update news on Jose Aldo, it's a snort fest as usual. Apparently he met with Dana White and Sean, whatever his name is today, and they had a very good meeting, but Aldo doesn't think he's going to fight again, or right now he feels he's not going to fight again. So I don't understand why they have to report this.
The Aldo thing is another one. It's like, it's crazy. So let's get on that topic real quick. The fighters now, all these fighters lashing out and wanting more money and or want to be released from their contracts. Do you feel like that this is like, and I heard they laid off a bunch of people in the UFC too, behind the scenes, behind closed doors. Do you think, what's it called? Dan says, don't hand out MMA-hole condoms. Well, Dan, okay. You don't want to have unsafe sex with females? Then don't do it, because MMA-hole condoms I would never trust. But do you think, Johnny, that this whole thing that's going on, do you think that the UFC, like, is this getting a little out of control now? Like, they're laying off people on the inside. People are leaving the organization. There's fighters like, F this, I'm going to go sell houses now. You know, like, there's a whole little revamp because of this new ownership. Do you think there's more turmoil behind the scenes? Like, or are they just trying to shake leaves and make things go a little bit crazy and uncanny over there? Like, what is the deal? What's going on with this? Is this good or bad for the UFC?
I think it's in the middle, because I really think this stems from the fact that they want to be the unionized thing. You know, they've been talking about the fighters having a union, the fighters union, for a while now. I think the fighters don't want to leave the UFC because they're not all going to Bellator. Let's be honest here, and there's nowhere else to go. So I think they're looking. I think they're kind of trying to powerball them a little bit on. Let's see how they feel about us doing this, and then unionize us. This all goes back a couple of years ago. We talked about where the fighters aren't considered employees; they're considered independent contractors. So I think that these guys want a little more security. I know money's an issue and everybody wants more money, but I think they're all looking for security because, like you said, they can just up and cut these guys whenever they want. They don't have any friggin', you know, a guy can be winning and they can be like, yeah, I know you won 3 straight fights, but you're out of here. There's just no security. I think that's what they're looking for.
Oh my God.
Conor McGregor agrees. Yeah, I think that's what they're doing too. I think they're just trying to get their name out there. They're trying to ruffle some feathers, make some more money out of it, suck some more cash, and jump aboard this fad. But it is a little unnerving what's going on, because what if like everyone is just like, F this, man, F this. Like, I'm out of here. The grass is greener on the other side with Bellator. You know, hey, it's not as big of an organization, but they're paying everyone more money. Let's go over there and hang out in the Bellator side. You know, like, or let's watch Hillary versus Trump. Let's watch them, because Hillary versus Trump is exciting. No, it's not. You're going to watch the MMA-holes. I don't know what's that. But I'm a little weirded out by this. Now, do you think that they're going to chase out Dana White? Do you think that Dana White's going to be like, F this, I'm paid, I'm good? Dana White's set. He doesn't have to do anything. I think he's just doing it because it's fun. And I think once it becomes not fun anymore, I could see Dana White being like, yo, peace out, guys. I'm out of here, you know? Do you think that would happen anytime soon? And if so, do you think that Dana White leaving would be a complete disaster for the UFC?
I think Dana White has a little more invested than we know, because he got all those Boston guys like Tom Brady and a ton of other guys. Those are all his boys, and they all like have some sort of stake in the company all of a sudden. I don't think Dana White's going anywhere personally. I think there might be a little bit of turmoil with him in the fighters, though. I really think that people may have gotten a little tired of him because of the shit. Like McGregor's a great example. You know, he sits there and he goes, McGregor's going to give up the belt if he fights Alvarez, and he didn't do it. And I'm sure there's a ton of other things. I'm sure you got to think half the women gotta be pissed at the fact that Rousey gets sit on the bench for as long as she wants, and she comes in and bang, there's a title shot. You know, he's got his favorites, and most of them are his money makers, so it's understandable they're his favorites. But I think that there's got to be a little bit of anxiety going on behind the scenes with the fighters and him.
Anxiety. I'm looking at the chats right now, and okay, Joey Mouth, I see you over there. We're gonna start. We'll throw a Hangouts link in there shortly. I'm gonna just do a little chat. We want to run through some topics, you know, talk. You guys can keep it going in the chat room, and we will throw the Hangouts link in for sure. We have a couple other people coming in talking about next Tuesday with what's going on with the Chris Weidman, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I see Mexicans here. Welcome, Mexican. I'm Mexico. We got no condoms. Or pull out. The game is strong. Sup, Mangs? Okay. Joey Mouth is not falling to the bottom. We see you, brother. Dan the Man, sup, Mexican. And who's Diaz going to fight? Diaz. Which Diaz are you talking about? Because I'm very interested in Nick Diaz. What if GSP could work everything out? Would you like to see that Nick Diaz GSP fight? You got to think GSP is not going to fight for the belt immediately. If he does iron out his deal, you got to think that GSP is going to get a super fight. You know, they're gonna lump together, you know, some big name and have GSP versus a Diaz, preferably the older Diaz, and that would be fun. I don't know what the younger Diaz. I don't know what his deal is. I think he's just gonna sip on cocktails and wait for Conor, which is never gonna happen. Do you think, John? Do you think Nick Diaz is going to fight anytime soon? And if so, who would you like to see him fight?
You know what? The problem is this. I think he's going to fight soon, but I think he's going to do what his brother did. He's going to look for a big money fight. Now, if it's not going to be GSP, where does he go from there? That's the real question. I would like to see. I know a lot. I was hearing rumblings of maybe Robbie Lawler was a possibility, but who the hell knows? I know he's definitely going to fight soon. It looks like he's cleared. He's ready to go. So I guess it's going to be interesting to see. And I agree with you on Nate. Nate's going to sit around and wait for McGregor, and which is probably never going to happen, especially if McGregor takes a time off.
Yeah, it looks like Nick is going to come back before Nate, and he's gonna grab a fight that's just, no matter what, it's gonna be a fun one because he's a good one. But now McGregor, Dana White's saying with Conor McGregor with the belts after 205, after he wins and after
You're gonna wrap one on one shoulder, I'm gonna wrap the other on the other shoulder, and you're gonna need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
Well, the army is going to come because Dana White said one of those belts is getting off of his shoulder. Two questions, okay? Does he keep the 55, or does he keep the 45, or does he lose and just hold on to the 45?
Well, I think the whole question is really based on him winning. If he wins, he's going to stay at 155. He's a proven commodity at 145. He beat the best guy ever at that weight class. You know, he's going to come up to 155. If he beats Alvarez, there's a laundry list of guys that are great in that division that he's going to have to take on. So I think he'll stay there for a little bit. I think he'll stay at 155 and defend the belt. Whether it's in a year or he fights again quicker, we'll see. But I think he'll stay at 155.
So he's saying staying at 155 and then says, hey, 45, see you later. And I have to recommend, if you want to look at old YouTube videos and go back in time, check out the Cage Warrior fights. Check out the old school McGregor fights. They are something to watch. And people that say that he doesn't have a ground game, watch those old tapes. Because sometimes you don't remember. If you haven't seen those tapes in a while, if you've never seen those tapes, check out the old tapes. The dude's got some ground game. You know, I forget because I get all wrapped up in this whole UFC world, and then I forget. UFC world is where the fish in the octagon, right? UFC world? No, that's a bad one. But I get wrapped up in this whole UFC thing. Go back in time. Check out the YouTube videos, the old school McGregor, Cage Warriors, and all that fun stuff. Guy's got a ground game, too. Slick ground game. The guy is a complete fighter. And it should be interesting. Joey Mouth, I see that you did call on the Hangouts. If I take that call, that's outside of this Hangout. We will throw the link in. So just hang in there, buddy. We want to chat. We love to chat. And we will chat. Nick Diaz. Okay, Dan the Man, we got you on that one. Dan the Man, he said he's ready to fight. But I don't know who he's going to fight. Hopefully it's a big one. It's definitely going to be a big one. When he does, it's going to be a big one no matter who it is. It's going to be a big one. What's up, Mexican? What's up, Mexican? Hey, Mexican, what do you think? We're in the cage. We're all in the cage together. It's freaking so sharp. I gotta fix the edges over here. There it is. I got to fix that. And I got the MMA-HOLES logo up top. And over here is supposed to be Google, but it's gone. John, do you see the Google over here? Because it's gone.
I see it.
Damn it, you see it? Fuck. Oh yeah, F Google, FOOK Google, FOOK Google, FOOK the election. I mean, I'm gonna watch it later. Who am I kidding? But yeah, they're going on right now. They're talking politics, and we're talking UFC.
Politics.
So what do you guys think? Here we go. Real quick question. Bellator, there is a fight this Friday night. Okay. We haven't done a Bellator stream yet. I'm thinking, you like that high note? I am thinking that maybe we do a surprise, motherfucker, going on Friday. Do a fight nope, fight buddies, because we are your fight buddies. So maybe we'll do a fight buddies. If you guys want it, thumbs up, let us know. And maybe we'll do a fight buddies on Friday night. Do a little Bellator. Check out those fights over there because Bellator is here. It's in the house, his house, and John's in the house too. We like that. So I saw today that Big Rig versus Magny. Kind of like that, if Johnny Hendricks could make weight, that'd be nice. But I see Johnny Hendricks versus Magny. I think that's a good freaking fight. What do you guys think about this one? And what card was that thrown on? The Magny
207.
That is 207. Okay, I'm going to pull up the 207 card because that's what I do. I pull up the 207 card. What's up, viewers? What's going on? We are the MMA-Holes, and you're watching live on a Debate Wednesday. Fook the debate. I'm going to bring you over to UFC 207. Come with me. Enjoy. UFC 207. Oh, who are those broads? Wait. John, where's Rousey's belt?
She ain't got one these days.
This is what I call horse shit. She needs a belt. She just looks weird. She looks freaking odd without a belt on her shoulder. She looks like, shit. What am I going to do now? I'm just standing here all mean without a belt. She needs a belt. Man, but look how this card is turning out over here. Just getting started. And they dropped bomb of Hendricks Magny. I know Hendricks hasn't been the Johnny Hendricks of old, but it's going to be kind of fun watching him go against Magny. Magny coming off that loss. Very interesting. Wait, wasn't Dominic Cruz supposed to be on this card as well?
Well, they're saying he's going to be on. They haven't announced the co-main yet. Right now, it's just the Rousey's the main. But most people, everything points to Cruz is going to be named as the co-main on that fight.
Yeah. Dominic Cruz now. Okay. So I was hearing rumblings about Uriah Faber was going to fight TJ Dillashaw. Like all of a sudden, like this was rumbling around. People were like, let's just have it happen. I don't know if it makes sense for TJ because of what's it called? Faber's latest performances. But as a viewer, I would love to freaking see that. And then they dropped the bomb on us that Uriah Faber will not be fighting TJ Dillashaw. And that's not going to happen. And it kind of makes sense. But I would have liked to seen that. And Uriah Faber, if you scroll down with me, we all come together. I hold your hand. Brad Pickett, who is a fun fighter to watch. Another one coming off of an L, if I'm not mistaken. Wait, Pickett lost his last fight, correct, John? I think he did.
Yes, because I remember I bet on him on DraftKings, and he went and screw me over.
There he is, Mr. Brad. Hey, Brad, how's it going? Always a fun fighter to watch. And yeah, he did lose. That's right. Okay. Okay. Yes, I do remember that. Okay. So yeah, so now Faber is going to be fighting Pickett, which
makes you wonder if Dillashaw is going to be fighting Cruz.
Yeah, I'm seeing that's going to happen. I mean, a lot of people are still saying that Cody is in the picture. I would like to see Cody in the picture because that would be the more fun of the two fights. But I think it looks like that. It looks like it's going to be Cody Lineker. It's going to be Cruz Dillashaw. Now, could Cody Lineker jump on that card as well, John? Is that too soon of a turnaround for Lineker?
I think it's enough, absolutely, because Pickett fought on the Bisping card, I think.
Yeah, and then you got Brian Caraway. You got him as well.
Yeah.
That you throw into that mix. That's a jumbled mess over there. And then you got Mighty Mouse. No, but I would like to see that again, by the way. Mighty Mouse Cruz again. That would be fun to watch now, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So who do you got? If you were on your deathbed, like, if I pick the right fight, I will live. I will live. Who would you pick?
What, the definite fights?
Yeah, what would be the fight? What is going to happen? Not what you want to happen. What is going to happen?
I think I agree with you 100% on that one. I really think with this happening, because I was reading the same thing about a possible Faber Dillashaw fight, but once they named Faber, I think it kind of everything points to Dillashaw fighting Cruz for the belt, and then I think they're going to put Cody and Lineker together. Is it going to be on the same card? I wouldn't guarantee, But I would definitely say that those two fights are going to happen. And Caraway, who knows what he's going to do?
Yeah, that's it, it's looking like that's the direction. Anyone in that little mix that you jumble them around be cool. I do want to see Cody Cruz, but let's see Cruz beat up Dillashaw again. Cody's going to take care of business. It's going to happen. You're going to see eventually Cody versus Cruz. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. I am seeing that we're having hold on. I see someone's in here. Israel is Jesus Christ. Jose Aldo was asked to fight Dominic Cruz in 207. Hey, MMA family. Is that true? Aldo versus Cruz in 207. Wow.
I heard nothing.
I tell you what. Okay, Mexican. We'll see you later, Meng. Hopefully we'll see you later in the chat. Jump on in if you'd like. Take it easy, brother. If Jose Aldo, man, wait, hold on a second. My mind might explode on this one. Jose Aldo versus Dominic Cruz, like a super belt versus belt. That could, John, that could freaking happen. Why not?
It could, but I would see you definitely have a lot of pissed off fucking bantamweights. I'll tell you that much.
Holy shit. That's actually really cool. It never would have jumped into my mind. What if Dana White's like, yo, all right, let's talk. Let's talk, Jose. Sit down, buddy. We're going to put you against Dominic Cruz. You're going to whoop his ass. Why not? You'll be a two. Whoa. Mind blown. Here we go. McGregor loses. Jose Aldo beats up Cruz. Now Aldo's got 2 belts. McGregor's got 1 belt. Could you imagine that, John?
No.
The thing is, Aldo can't go down to Dominic Cruz. It would have to be he cuts too much to get to 145. So to get to it's never going to happen. That's not going to happen. But I could always dream. Okay.
They definitely have to 8 or at 145. There's no way that Aldo's getting to 135.
No, that's not gonna happen. But I had a mini UFC orgasm for 2 seconds, and I'm gonna put my MMA-HOLE condom on, and everyone will be safe and no messes. All right, so Mexican's out. Mexican, hopefully we see you soon. Hey Mexican, when he drops the link in, you should join the chat. Okay, that's probably after he said he was gonna. Oh shit, never mind. Powerhouse, gonna pause this till the debate is done. Powerhouse, pause the debate. We're so much more. Or Powerhouse, if you want to watch it afterwards, you could do that as well. We're going to be on for a little bit. I am going to watch the debate after this. I will. I'm not a political nut, but it's must-see TV. And the people that are watching, thank you. You guys are fantastic. We love you. For the interim title, Aldo hasn't answered yet. Aldo's not going to answer. After discussing with my MMA-HOLE colleague, John, it's not going to happen because the weight thing. It's going to be a catch weight, or Cruz is going to have to go up. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Jane Doe, what happened to the sick beard, bro? Jane Doe wants to know what happened to the sick beard. The sick beard is gone. It's more aerodynamic now. Now I could cut through. My face cuts through this fence. That's how I got through this. My face with no beard just cuts through everything. All right, calm down. 145. He says 145. They're going to fight out. So if they do fight at Aldo's weight, that could possibly happen. But could you imagine if Aldo could find a way to go down and get 2 belts and McGregor loses? Could you imagine that shit? That'd be insane. That'd be insane. But the only thing is Aldo has to go up. That's the only way he can go. He can't go down any further. Ugh. John, that would be so awesome. Imagine. And I'm not a Jose guy. I'm a McGregor guy. Yeah, that'd be freaking awesome. But
who the fuck is that guy?
you're right. You know what I'm saying? Guys, you know what I'm saying? I have a couple of sound bites. Check this out.
Make me. Make me. Make me. Make me. Make me. Make me.
The best. He is the best. Come on, guys. He is the best. Conor never loses. Conor never does lose, and that's correct. Well, he has, but we try to forget it. Right, John? We forget about it.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
Okay. I have a comment right here. I just want to see Bub Meadows. Hey, Bub Meadows. I don't think I've seen you before. Welcome to the chat. As full of shit as Dana is every time he speaks to the media, I wouldn't be surprised if they announced GSP fight in the next week. Yeah, that's what we were saying in the beginning of the show. I think that looks like it's all a publicity stunt. I don't know if the UFC is in on the joke. I don't know if they are, but GSP has a plan. and he's going to milk as much money as he wants. And we want to see GSP fight at UFC, what, John? 206? Because I think that's where.
Well, they want this is in Toronto. That's why they want that.
UFC 206. You are correct, Johnny, in Toronto. Let's look at that card. Let's check it out. You know there's a lot of Habs, a lot of Canadians in there, and we're going to bring you there. We bring you to UFC 206. Hey, there it is. Look at that. The Rumble versus the DC. I saw an article. I didn't get to read it yet, but I saw something about DC hurt and his injury was exposed. Did you see that, John?
No, I didn't.
Some weird article.
I've seen him post that, he, like a bunch of stuff about and still at 206. So I wasn't assuming the injury was serious.
Yeah, you got to think he's going to drag himself into that fight no matter what. I mean, you don't want to fight injured against the Rumble for sure. But I'm hoping that's just speculation. Whoop, this thing's popping up. Yeah, so that fight's fantastic. This is not going to be the co-main. They need to suck something because this dark face, it's just not going to fly. It's not going to, that can't happen. That's just not going to happen. So something needs to squeeze in over here. This would look really nice with a GSP in there. A GSP Nick Diaz, who's been very quiet, John. What do you think?
I did. Well, I told you on the UFC tonight, last Wednesday, they actually Cormier called Dana White out on, and he said it wasn't true, but supposedly Cormier wasn't listed as the main event; he was listed as the co-main. So if you drew GSP in there, it couldn't possibly shock you. The question is, who would be the real question.
Yeah, man, I would love to know. I would love to know who's going to jump in there. And like it was said in the chat, it's going to be announced soon. Something's got to be announced. Something's got to be done with 206. And then they have 3 bangers. Well, they have 205, which is just a home run. 207 is turning out to be a very nice one. And 206 is going to be hopefully turn into something nice. Connor never loses. Joey Mouth, hey, bro, I had a bunch to add. Hold on. And waited a week. I'm shut out. Come on. Now, dude, plus I didn't get to talk to you. Okay. Yes, Joey Mouth, we're going to throw you in. Hold on. It's 9:39. Give us a couple more minutes, Joe. If you could hang out a couple more minutes. I want to go through a couple of topics, and then we're going to throw the link into the chat. Okay. John is going to give the thumbs up. If you notice, John doesn't have the diapers in the background again for 2 weeks in a row. John does not have the diapers in the background. If you guys want to see diapers, let us know in the comments. We need to know about John's diapers.
So, totally off that topic. This December 17th in Sacramento looks like it's turned out to be a nice little card, huh?
Yeah.
Joe versus Mike Perry, that crazy guy. I like that fight.
I see hold on. We're gonna go back to that though in 2 seconds. I see knives. I see Invincible Summer just puts knives everywhere. It looks like a butcher. I don't know what kind of knives. They're sharp knives, and then it says knife, 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 demon, knife, 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 knife. Thank you for your contribution, Invincible Summer. We love that comment. Okay, John, go back to what you were saying.
No, these two guys, if you could see, looks like they might be fighting at 17 at Sacramento also.
Yes, that is going to be fantastic. Christine is here. She's over there. You want to come in? You could sit right next to me. If you guys want to see Christine, she could join us. She's standing right there. She's standing right there. John, that fight. So there's a Twitter war. It's going on. And it looks like it's good. Safadine is an absolute stud. The guy is funny as hell. He's a nasty fighter. He's going to work his way right up. And he was making fun of the pretty boy and talking about this pretty boy stuff. And the pretty boy was coming back. And Safadine, dude, that guy is awesome. He's absolutely freaking awesome. I think that was announced what, today or yesterday? I don't know.
Yeah. Sacramento.
Sacramento.
Nice.
That's where it's on. That's the Paige Van Zandt. And is that the one where Faber jumped on?
And that's Mickey Gall and Sage Northcutt too.
Yeah, that's going to be a cool one. And that's a fight night. Fight night we like. Joey Mouth, bro, definitely do and tell John to stick around. John, Joey Mouth wants you to stick around. I got a huge MMA story, bro. Huge. And you won't hear it anywhere. How about that? An exclusive from Joey Mouth. John, are you salivating right now from Joey Mouth's huge announcement?
I can barely contain myself.
Well, you know what? I tell you what, I re-listened to the broadcast because I'm a narcissist, and I jumped back on. It was like 3 hours long, I think, our broadcast. We had a lot of characters jumping in. Dan the Man was a strong part of the show. Joey Mouth came in. Johnny's always a staple of the MMA-holes, and we had a couple others. Jay and Mike, they jumped in as well. Joey Mouth ended the show with me. We had a nice little conversation, me and Joe, and very informative and very fun. He was a very good voice that we liked, a good addition to the MMA-holes. It was very nice to hear Joe. Who's winning the debate, John? Who do you think, Trump or Hillary right now?
I can care less. It's gonna be a bad 4 years, and after that, who cares?
What's the Rangers score? I gotta put the game. What time? What is it?
1-1 into the second.
Well, okay. I won't put it on quite yet. I have family in Michigan. Let me tell you guys, John knows I have family in Michigan. They were all Red Wing fans, and they tried to suck us over to the Red Wing side. I should have went to the Red Wing side, but I stayed with the Rangers, and I should have went with the Red Wings. But I will die. I will sink with my ship, and John's a Ranger fan as well, and we sink with our ship. What was I gonna say? Okay, John. Okay, John. Salivating, huh? That's Joey Mouth. John, tell him you're salivating right now.
What happened?
I said, Joey Mouth said, John. Okay, John. ... Salivating, huh? Question mark. Yeah, look, John needs to get the diapers out, put them on, pee in them, and then put them away again for the announcement. Right, John? That's what I think. Go ahead.
The only problem is this boxes.
That would make for great TV. Oh, and by the way, last week we were talking about Zoolander, and check this out, guys. You're gonna be so fucking excited. Watch this. Johnny, do you see that? Merman. That's right.
Where the hell find that thing?
I got a Merman shirt. Merman. To my Zoolander fans. Because last week we were talking Zoolander. We wanted to hear a Zoolander accent. If anyone has it, they need to come in on the hangout later on. And screw the debate. We'll do Zoolander accents. Because we're really, really good looking. Right, John?
It was actually on Showtime today. I watched it.
Oh, it's fantastic. The second one, not so much. I haven't yet to get through it. I've seen it in bits and pieces, and I can't futz my way through that. It's a tough one. It's a tough watch, the second one, but the first one is fantastic.
The second one is really not.
The second one, not so much, and not so much. Ronda Rousey and Chris Cyborg. So now Dana White says that Chris Cyborg, okay, I can't even say it, Chris Cyborg is wants Rousey bad, and Rousey definitely 100% is ready to fight Cyborg. So the plan is this: Rousey wins against Nunes. Might not even happen. Will Ronda Rousey win? Let me know. And if she does win, it looks like they're going to try to work that out. The Cyborg versus Rousey. And Dana White said, I heard it from the pig's mouth, straight from the pig's mouth. He's not a pig. He's a nice guy. He's a nice fellow. I can't say that. It's terrible. Straight from the pig's mouth. That's just terrible. I might see him next week, and God forbid he watches the show. With the 6 viewers that are watching right now, it'd be crazy. But straight from Dana White's mouth, he said that this will be the biggest pay-per-view ever. Talking like a true promoter, that Dana White. The biggest pay-per-view ever. John, would Rousey Cyborg be the biggest pay-per-view ever?
You have to have a good card. I mean, as many people want to see that fight, I know you're going to get to all the Brazilians and, you know, all the Rousey fans, but for it to be the biggest one ever, you still got to put another fight on that card. As big as those two are, you're not going to be the biggest ever with one fight. It's impossible.
Yeah, one fight to, you know what's funny? Like if you look at the McGregor Diaz one and Holly Holm, Miesha Tate, second part of that fight, that was so top heavy. The rest of the card was a rough watch. It wasn't like, it didn't look too bad on paper, but it wasn't the greatest of cards, and it was so top heavy that it got great ratings because of the Conor McGregor. And you know, if you have a Rousey Cyborg, is that enough? Like they'll put a co-main under there that's a decent watch, and then everything else is just meh. You know, Is that still going to bring in all the ratings that you need? Now, Ronda Rousey's huge in Brazil. Cyborg is huge in Brazil. Cyborg's got a huge cock, as someone said in the comments. Chris the Dude Cyborg. That's what Israelis Jesus Christ. I think Israelis Jesus Christ said. Cyborg, Chris the Dude Cyborg. But is it enough? Is that enough to hold the audience of the pay-per-view? Is that enough to suck the viewers in and be the best? That's a bold statement. UFC 205 is going to destroy records. Destroy it. How do you top UFC 205? How do you put together a fight card like that? It's impossible.
Barring injuries, I can't see 205 not blowing records. I can't see anybody topping that for a long time. With how many people are going to watch that, and it being in New York for the first time. So even if you put together the Cyborg Rousey fight, I don't think it's going to be 205 unless you throw a card together like that.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to break all records. Would that be a fantastic watch? 100%. Dan the Man says Cyborg is a man. It's not right. Dan the Man says that Cyborg will take down Rousey easily. We have to see Rousey after this Nunes fight. We have to see what kind of Ronda Rousey we have. Is that break going to hurt her, or is it going to be something that was good? It cleared her mind. A lot of people say if she loses, that she is completely done. She's off the deep end, and see you later. But remember, guys, a lot of people said that when she went out the first time around, when Holly Holm gave her that fucking kick right to the face and knocked her jaw to the other side of her face, Rousey was never the same. She was just a disaster afterwards and fell off the face of the earth. A lot of people speculated that she was never going to come back, and she came back. So I'm not quite yet ready to say if she loses this fight, she's gone, because she's not going to lose. She's not going to lose this fight. I think she will beat Nunes, and she will move forward. As tough as Nunes is, she will move forward. She will fight Chris Cyborg. That's here. You heard it here first, inside the cage. That's me. That's me talking my Ronda Rousey, John. We love Rousey. She's
I think Rousey's, regardless, I don't see I know Nunes beat up on Tate. Tate went into that fight fat and out of shape. Had to strip down, pull some fingernails off just to get to make the weight. So I know Nunes is good, but I think Rousey's going to beat her anyway.
Yeah, Nunes is going to be a tough one for Rousey, but Rousey will come in prepared. Unfortunately, she'll have Edmund there. No one likes Edmund. Edmund is a disaster, but she will have him in his corner, and that's going to happen. I see Joey Mouth jumped in. Who wants to hear it? It involves espionage, a famous fighter, FBI, ties to a very bad terrorist organization. Jesus Christ, Joey Mouth. Joey Mouth with the crazy news jumping in about an MMA fighter, espionage. I like the word espionage. Say that, espionage, John. Yes. Joey Mouth is 9:50. At 10 o'clock, we're going to drop in the link to the chat, and we will talk to you guys. We will have you guys on the show. We would like to have people in to hang out with the MMA-holes. Before that happens, remember, Tuesday next week, Chris Weidman, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, there's going to be, hopefully, a stream. Now, if this stream happens, we're going to let you guys know all the information, but you have to follow our Twitter page. You have to follow our Facebook page. That's where we tell you the stuff on the minute to the minute at the MMA-holes. Check us out at the MMA-holes. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. We give you all the information when we're not streaming. Next Tuesday is going to be fun. We're going to try to simulcast with a magazine together, like a family. And we want the MMA-holes to just storm it. We're going to talk to some fighters. King Clan is not here today. Where is King Clan? We are missing King Clan. He's the winner of the contest, has the autographs, and hopefully he could jump in eventually. We would like to talk to King Clan as well. But we have some debate. He probably is. In Scotland, he's very into this debate. He's the edge of his seat. But the MMA-holes that are here are true hardcore fans. I'm missing my Rangers. I'm missing the debate. And John is too. But John's probably multitasking right now. I'm sure he has those Rangers on and will tell me when they win.
Well, they're in intermission. I'm actually watching the baseball game because I'd rather watch the fucking Cubs and the Dodgers than Trump and Hillary.
Yeah. It's gonna be such a mess. I can't even imagine that Trump-Hillary stuff. I just can't imagine what's gonna be said tonight. They're gonna take off the gloves and they're gonna go at it with each other. And it's gonna be fantastic. And I will watch later on. Trust me. On YouTube, you could watch everything over. You don't have to watch it live. You could watch it over again. watch us now. That's how that works. Dan the Man, honestly, I kind of want to see Gal versus McGregor. Well, you're going to wait a long time for that one. It's not going to happen anytime soon, Dan. As much as I would like to see it as well, it's not going to happen anytime soon. Joey Mouth, all real, bro. No BS. Joey, we believe you. We 100%. Like I said, give us a couple of minutes and we will get to you. Give us 22 minutes and we give you the world. Or is that 10-10 wins?
Yes. So give him 21.
Dan the Man, you going to jump in on the chat as well? We know Joey Mouth's going to jump in. We're going to have Jason jump in, and we will have Mike later on talking about some big news about next week. We will get into that as well. But until then, Gal versus McGregor. I mean, who wouldn't want to see that? But it's just never going to happen. So that is of that. Guys, have you seen this Patty the Batty? John, have you gotten a chance to see any highlights of the kid yet?
No.
When you get a chance, as soon as you're done with the MMA holes, you jump on the YouTubes. We're on YouTube now. You jump on YouTube again. You type in Patty the Batty. You watch this guy. Guy's fantastic. Guy's got he's got a stand-up game. He's got a ground game. He's unorthodox. He's wacky. He's aggressive. He's strong. He's powerful. And the best part is when he wins, he does this little dance. Johnny does this. John, how could you not root for that guy? Yeah, so it's hilarious. It's hilarious. He wins and he does this weird little dance and it's freaking hysterical. He's got a thick British accent. It's like Austin Powers. And we need him in the UFC ASAP. Get this man. Sign this man. I know he's coming. Bring him in. We need to see him. He's hilarious. He really is funny. It's funny. When you watch old McGregor tapes and you watch this kid, it's a whole different story. McGregor back in the day, he had an army cheering for him with chants. You know, that you know, they have that, you know, that Walking in the Winter Wonderland version of Conor McGregor. They've had that going on way before the UFC. This kid doesn't have a song. So that's why McGregor is going to be bigger than him no matter what. But it'd be fun. Bring him in. Why not? Patty the Batty, John. Remember. Always remember. These kids, man. And he's young too, man. I think he's 21 years old. John's got to get up on his game. Joey Mouth says John's got to get up on his game. Well, Johnny, don't take that from Joey Mouth. Say, take his espionage, and you know where to shove it.
I'm a little behind the times. There's too much sports going on in the world right now.
Yeah, that's the problem. When you follow so many sporting events, it's crazy. I'm not a big college football guy. I'm not a big college basketball guy, a college hockey guy. I love those sports. Not a big college guy, but with the UFC, I'll watch these other, you know, the younger kids, these prospects fight because it's one person. It's not a team, you know, it's not a team. And then they have this one guy that's a great player. It's literally one guy and that's it. So you see what you get. It's, you know, and I kind of like, whoa, I just hit something. I kind of like that, you know, so that's why I like to watch the, you know, the Cage Warriors. I like to watch Bellator, or, you know, anything that's on the TV. I like to watch and be like, oh, this guy might be the next big thing. It's awesome. It really is. You know, like I said, you watch college basketball, you got a great point guard on there, but he's got a team that's helping him out. You know, these guys, there's no team. There's just coaches. He's in there. They punch each other in the face. They kick each other. They hug. And that's it. That's why I watch that, John.
The hugging part, the kicking each other in the face part, that intrigues you more.
I love when they hug afterwards. They have a shot of whiskey and they say, good fight, man. Good fight. And then they flip the bird and that's it. Joey Mouth, follow me on Google Plus. We have to get that Google Plus going. We haven't really got that going, but thank you for the follow. Guys, remember, we need the thumbs ups. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe so you know when we're on and we could talk and unite with you guys. Now, we have a big problem. I know me and my buddy Mike has a big problem because UFC 205 is a problem. We may have to freaking work it. It's killing me. Can't get out of the job. John, do I commit suicide before UFC 205 if I have to work, or do I just work?
I think you just tell Mike you're going to meet him there and not show up.
It kills me, man. Oh, it kills me. We have a slideshow. We have a slideshow that we have to do. And if we didn't have to do the stupid slideshow with our festivities, then we would have been out of it. But the slideshow has screwed us. We got screwed by a slideshow. That's basically it. But I'm hearing UFC 205 might be the longest pay-per-view ever. Ever. Like, we're talking 3 a.m. pay-per-view. over here. 3:30 in the morning. You think it's going to be the longest, John?
Yeah, I think so. This is definitely going to be a long one. Well, you got 3 title fights, right?
Yeah, 3 title fights. I mean, these fights could be quick, so they could just be knock each other around and this and that. I think some will go the distance. Does Chris Weidman have a shot? Because Bisping is talking so much smack with Weidman right now and saying Weidman's the guy that deserves it. Does he have a shot? Do you think he's going to beat the Soldier of God and just go for it, get that belt back, or is he in trouble?
Well, I'm up and down with the Soldier of God. Like he's looked good in some fights, but I don't know. I'm not totally sold that he's that good. I think Weidman's got the edge, and just I don't know, with length and all that. I think he's going to smother him. If Weidman sits there and bangs on him, he's an idiot.
You think? Yeah. So you think? I got a text from Mike as we were talking. Yeah, I don't know. I think Weidman could beat him both ways. I think he could beat him on the feet and beat him on the ground. I do. I think he is definitely a well-rounded fighter, and I think his stand-up is good. I really do feel his stand-up is good. I mean, Yoel Romero is no joke, but USADA, the post-USADA, Yoel Romero, how good can he be? Maybe he'll look deflated like Belfort. Is Belfort retired? Did Viator retire? I'm hearing he's still around. Is he retired or not?
Rumor has that he may fight again, so I don't think he's retired.
Okay, so Mike says, I'll try to get in soon. Had to stop at an event with the boss. All right, we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so that's Mike. Mike has more info on Tuesday nights, Tuesday days, meet up with Chris Weidman and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. We're going to have him say hello to the MMA-holes. We're going to have him sign some autographs for the winner, King Clan. And we're going to try to do a simulcast stream. That would be fantastic. Whole bunch of more news when Mike comes on and tells us what's going on. Okay. Joey Mouth. Joey Mouth is just messing with you, John. He's just busting chops.
He's more than welcome. Nothing bothers me.
Dan the Man wants to know what McGregor announcement is. It's killing him. And what's this guy's name? Funny. That's probably funny, spelled funny. He's having a baby. That's the speculation, John, right? McGregor is having a baby. He's having a baby boy. And then when the baby comes out, yeah, when the baby comes out, he's going to say this.
Who the fuck is that guy?
That'd be great, right? Okay.
Who the fuck is that guy?
That'd be great. Or it would be funny if he's standing there and he's like push, and you just hear.
You're gonna wrap one on one shoulder, I'm gonna wrap the other on the other shoulder, and you're gonna need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
That's if he has twins. If he has twins, he's gonna have one on one shoulder and one on the other shoulder, and you're gonna need a fucking army to take it away, or a fucking army to take it away from him. Love that. Okay. All righty. Wow, the chat's going. Welcome to the MMA-holes. Thank you for the like. We like that. And we will drop. Chris, you're really killing me. All right. All right, Johnny, you ready? We're gonna drop into the chat room. Let's see what Joey Mouth's about. Let's see what this news is. Espionage. Guys, we're gonna throw the link into the chat. If you want to jump on in. Dan the Man, welcome. And everyone that wants to hang out in the chats, and talk to us. We like to communicate with everybody. Everyone, shout out this channel. Funny. Thank you, buddy. See, that's the thing. Before I throw this link in there, guys, the only way we're going to grow is by subscribers, thumbs ups, and all that stuff. We just started this not too long ago. This is only our 8th weekly show. John, this is our 8th. Happy anniversary. This is our 8th show.
You going to take me out to dinner and a movie?
That's right. I'm going to wine you. I'm going to dine you. And I'm going to 16. Stop it. Stop it, John. Stop. Okay. Yeah, this is our 8th show. The only way is to share. Throw it on Facebook, throw it on Twitter, just throw it all over. Just spam the shit out of everything. Because that's what I try to do. I go on people's things like Luke Thomas, fuck Luke Thomas, Ariel Hawani. When they have streams, I jump MMA-hole stuff in there and say, come on, join us. We want to join. We want to grow a family of a-holes. Then we make shirts. we make love, and that's how that works. And this cage is still here. It's still erect. Okay. So let's do this, guys. Let's do this. Boom, bada, boom, boom, boom. I have a link. I'm going to drop it in the chat. John, you ready? Put up the gloves. They're coming in. So this is Google Hangouts. So I drop a link in there. If you want to join, you can join. If you're a dick, I eject you. If you're funny, I keep you in. If you're informative, I keep you in. And that's how that works. Keep it going, guys. And always remember, subscribe. Boom. There's the Hangout links. And it'd be nice to see you guys. Anyway, the debate is going on right now. But who cares? Right, John?
Yeah, the Rangers are losing, so I don't care.
By the way, I think this light is too bright. I'm sweating. I need to put the fan on a little higher. It's like hell in here.
Korean Zombie is calling out BJ Penn.
The Korean Zombie versus BJ Penn. Ay vey. Ay vey Maria. That is tough. That is a tough one. BJ Penn. Guys, I know the guy is, he was a stud and he's a Hall of Famer and yeah, and he has a great BJPenn.com. But Jesus Christ, I think I'm done. I think I'm done with BJ, man. I've been done for a while. Why? Why are you doing this to us? John, why? That is a tough one. Whoa. And guys, I know the guy is, he was a stud and he's a Hall of Famer and yeah, and he has a great BJPenn.com. But Jesus Christ. Yeah. Joey? Okay. I've been done for a while. Why? Why are you doing this to us? Joey, that's me talking. That's me talking to me.
Oh, I got to shut that off.
Yeah. There he is, the legend, Joey.
The legend, the man, the myth.
All right, Joey, there you are. Gee, I mean, that's some freaking entrance you had going on there.
Oh, well, I had to get it out, John. I was just busting chops. I apologize about that. But when you rolled your eyes, I was a little bit hurt right here, because I wanted you to hear this. What did he just show?
What did that do, John? Let me see. Oh, yeah, John, you're cutting out a little bit.
All right. Anyway, I'm not gonna go down that road. But listen, I have a crazy story that I had to read up on to make sure that it was true because I didn't want to post anything filled with BS. But if you guys, you could look up everything that I'm saying and find out that it's factual. So are you ready, Chris?
I was born ready.
You ready, John? All right. Here's the deal. Are you guys familiar with Khabib Nurmagomedov's manager, Frankie Edgar's manager?
Yes, I'm very aware.
What do you know about him, Chris? Have you heard anything?
Lately, no, I've heard nothing lately. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, in the past, have you heard anything shady about him?
No, but Khabib's name is shady, so.
Yes, it is. Well, Frankie Edgar is managed by this guy, Ali Abiz. I forgot how to pronounce his name. It's one of those really like, I don't know. It's an Egyptian name. But anyway, about 15 years ago, he tried getting in the country on a lie that he was an Olympian. He got called out on it, but somehow, some way, weaseled his way into getting links with the FBI and ratting out some of his, so-called enemies, but really they were friends, until they did some research and found out that he was training the Muslim Brotherhood how to fight. You could look all this up, John. And he was training the Muslim Brotherhood how to fight. The Muslim Brotherhood is known to have bombs that have went off, terrorist plots, the whole nine. Now, if you rewind back, the reason why I cared about this fight is cared about this issue is because Frankie Edgar I have close ties to, like I told you last week, Chris. But what happened was Frankie, a couple of months ago, was offered a deal with a guy from the Middle East, and that's why he walked into his fight against Chad Mendes carrying the Qatar flag, Q-U-A-T-E-R, I think it's called. It's a country in the Middle East. He was paid big time for that, and everybody was wondering, why are you carrying around that flag? It was due to his links with his manager. Make a long story short, with his manager's ties to the Muslim Brotherhood, Frankie has been getting a lot of hate mail and calls that he's hanging out with this terrorist. Why you have, the flag attached to your flag and blah, blah, blah. And it made me kind of want to look it up because, you know, like I said, I'm friendly with him. But apparently it's gone down so much to even bring up some of his training partners are getting asked and getting harassed as well, saying, you know, what's the matter with Frankie, blah, 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 blah. And apparently he might even be making an announcement in the next few weeks, either cutting ties with him or explaining himself because it's getting pretty serious. And if you guys want to look it up, a great, great article is called Rat in a Cage. And it's the true story about Ali Abil. And this guy's got so many shady things he did. He lied to get in this country by saying that his mother was dying. Then he said his mother was dead. Then he said his mother was going to be killed by terrorists. All lies that they found out. And he was even kicked out of an organization years ago because they found out about all of his links to this serious organization. Now, I know that it sounds like nothing, but it's pretty serious, man. That's like having a manager in the UFC, literally a card-holding member of Al-Qaeda. No joke. And this is Frankie Edgar, the American. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a good guy. And I was even dumbfounded by it. I got, you know, like, there's nothing I could even say. It's like I'm speechless. So I'm dying to hear his announcement. And you won't find that anywhere other than this one article. And I don't know why. I'm surprised it hasn't blown up.
That's bonkers. Right now, I'm looking online. I see Frankie Edgar.
Look up Rat in a Cage, Chris. It's called. What I did was I put Rat in a Cage / MMA manager. It will blow your mind, Chris, because you'll probably be able to speak it better than I did. I kind of mumbled because I've been waiting to say it. I wanted to get it off my chest, and I held it for the MMA-holes. Waited a week.
Wait, here we go. Billy Corgan. Oh, no, wait.
No, it's talking about expansion countries. I got this. It's called go to realfightstories.com and look up Rat in a Cage, the real story of Ali Abdel Aziz. I'm telling you, it'll blow your mind. In fact, if you there's a video from a couple of months ago where he took over Frankie Edgar's Twitter account and started talking shit on other fighters, and he was cornered in the back alley of the arena by like Cowboy Cerrone and a couple of guys, and Frankie had to defend him. No one really likes this guy. He's shadier than shady.
That's crazy. I think I found it. Here we go, Real Fight Stories, and let's check it out. Here we go. Is this it over here? September 2001. Here we go. Yeah, this is it. This is the story. Holy cow. Yeah, I'm going to have to check this out later. That's insane. Wow, huh? That's some crazy.
It'll blow your mind.
That is some crazy stuff. So now what's the deal? Whoops, I'm showing us. Let's stop that. Stop it. Stop that. What is the deal now? Like, so did Frankie Edgar cut all ties with this, or like what's?
No, that's what he's being basically forced to do. In fact, his mother is friendly with a friend of mine's mother, and she called him up. This is basically, I mean, it's not, this will never be in the news, but she called up the guy's mom and said, I know that you really don't watch fighting, but you have Twitter and you have Facebook. Do you know anything about this? Because I'm really worried about Frankie. Because she had no idea why he had ties to him. And it was kind of understood that Khabib Nurmagomedov would have ties to this guy. But Frankie Edgar, I mean, that's like having Hacksaw Jim Duggan from years ago in WWE. Talk about a throwback. But that's like having a guy like him that walks around with the American flag, all of a sudden put a burqa on and start hanging out with the Iron Sheik. It's just not something that you expect. Bad example because that's all fake, but this is all real deal stuff. He literally, on that page that you have, Chris, if you slide down, they actually show recruitment videos of what these guys do. And Ali said in his FBI meeting, hey, look, I'm not a part of that group, but I trained them all how to fight hand-to-hand combat.
Wow. That's insane, man. That's insane. I got to read this with a fine-tooth comb and go through it. That's nuts. That's freaking nuts. Do you think Trump's going to build a wall around their facilities?
I think Trump's going to build a wall around Frankie's house.
Frankie's a short guy, so he doesn't have to build it too high. You could just, so high like this, and then Frankie will be stuck forever.
When my nieces come over, I put that cage up so they don't run down the steps. I think I'm going to lend it to Trump, and they'll put it around Frankie's house. I'm scared to say that because as small as Frankie is, he'll beat the piss out of me.
Yeah, at least you're a little closer to Frankie than me, so I would beware. That's crazy. Israela says, way to go, Joey, for saying that. He was connected with 9/11. Joey, my brother. I don't know if he's asking you if he was connected to 9/11. That's crazy.
That's actually when all this started really coming into play. He tried to get into the country 2 weeks after. I'm telling you, Chris, it's crazy because I found myself after I read it came out a year ago, but I just caught wind of it recently, and I found myself going back and looking at fights and seeing changes in Frankie, and you really see it because a manager could change the way your outlook is on things, and when you find out that Frankie gave him his Twitter account to take over, and this guy's starting fights with them, this guy made Frankie, not made him, but this prince from Qatar to go over there and train these guys. Because I never understood on Twitter when you would see Frankie give out shout-outs to, like, I want to give a shout-out to, like, Muhammad Abdel Abu for his fight this weekend in India. I used to be like, how the fuck does Frankie know these guys? But you find out through him, he got this deal with the Prince of Qatar, and now he walks around with a Qatar flag in the ring.
Wow.
And look, I'm not racist. I'm not anything like that. But I don't care if it smells like a duck, it acts like a duck, it walks like a duck, it is a duck. And this guy, Ali, for lack of a better word, is a duck.
Wow, that's nuts.
I'm just really upset that Frankie has any ties to him.
When I met him, I was coming out of the bathroom and I went to get a picture from Frankie Edgar. He was riding out on a donkey. He had a mule. He was riding out there with a burqa on. And I was like, this is weird. And I took that's freaking nuts. Johnny, what do you think, man? This is some insane news, man. I just looked it up over here. It does look pretty legit.
Was I lying about a big story?
Well, it seems like Billy Mouth has the exclusive.
Chris,
Johnny,
you better get yourself out.
hold on.
Say?
You should get yourself out. You did piss next to the guy.
Yeah, I know. Maybe when he shook my hand, there might be anthrax on my hand, and I'm still alive, so that's all that matters.
That's what's crazy about it, because Frankie is known for being such a good guy, nice guy. He trains kids, helps out kids on the weekend. My father was diagnosed with cancer, and he wrote him a letter to hang up in his office, so whenever my father goes to get his treatment and stuff like that, he looks up at it, and it's a picture of him when he fought Gray Maynard, and it says, hey, never give up. I was losing in round 1, but look at what I accomplished by round 5. And it's like, round 4. And it's like, that's the type of person he is. And to have any bit of a blemish on your record sucks. But to have a blemish like this, that's not a small problem. That's a huge, huge issue. I mean, he faces losing a ton of fans if people caught wind of what's going on.
I would have to give Edgar the benefit of the doubt on this one.
Oh, absolutely. I love Frankie. In no way, shape, or form am I saying Frankie did anything in this, and I want to really stress that issue. I love Frankie, and I am friendly with him, I've been a fan of his for quite some time. Best friends with this corner guy. I'm not saying this about Frankie. I'm saying this about his manager, and no names to be said because I have a couple other things names that I could say that also have been worried about this guy and things that, he's done and how shady he is, but I don't want to bring them into it. But the bottom line is it's like the unspoken elephant in the room of fighting this guy. And people all know about it and know of him and how shady he really is.
Israelis writes in the chat, says, don't forget Cassius Clay became Muhammad Ali after converted to Islam. That is correct. Says
that is correct.
He also
very good call.
Yeah, Mike Tyson became Muslim in the prison.
And that's another thing I want to say. I'm not talking about this just because it's Muslim. I'm talking about he's got terrorist ties, literal links to terrorist ties that he admitted to. He was an FBI informant to get himself out of trouble because he was going to be banned from the country. He goes by 15 different aliases. I'm telling you, man, you read this and you won't want to put it down. That's one of the best stories I've read in a while.
It's intriguing. And here's another one over here. He says that after Connor's loss from Nate, Muslim Arabs agents approached Connor to change manager and follow them. I don't know how true that is, but that's bizarre.
Believe it or not, I heard something similar. I heard that when he fought Jose Aldo actually had complaints that some guys in suits from the IRA came into his gym in Brazil and started threatening him to drop the fight.
That's crazy, huh? That's some wild stuff, man. Man, you would think that this would be all over the place, That's
what I don't understand. That's why I wanted to bring it up here, because I love this community, because it's true fans talking about, what they feel. Hey, John, you're quiet over there. I want to see, what do you think about this?
Sorry, I'm actually enthralled into the Ranger game, but the article looks like it's pretty sick. I read a little bit of it. It's kind of scary, I gotta be honest with you. Is the conspiracy part of it, is the UFC hiding all this shit because they don't want the bad publicity.
Exactly, or they don't want.
Yeah, look at that.
Fans.
That is insane, man. That is some insane stuff. When you hear Khabib's name, like the first thing you think, and you horse around about the name, this and that, and then to hear something like this is just, it is bonkers, man. It's crazy.
And Khabib has said that, you know, he didn't take the title fight in the summer because he was following his strict Muslim diet and fasted. And that's why Dana White said it's hard to put all their eggs into his basket, because if he's not hurt, he's not fighting because of his Muslim beliefs. And that's understood. God bless him. Like that famous pitcher, Sandy Koufax, that didn't pitch because of his Jewish holiday. I get all that. But when he said in an interview, Muslim is the number one thing in my life, before family, before fighting, anything that I have to do for my religion, I will do. And he was asked about this guy, and he said, I believe that people try to, and don't quote me on this, I don't know his exact quote, but he said, I believe something along the lines of, people are just scared because of Islamophobia, but the bottom line is, even if it's slightly true, what's wrong with somebody representing their religion? In other words, saying, hey, if he blows up people, what's wrong with that? He's representing his religion.
Yeah. Well, let me just start by saying that in no way do I think, like, Muslims are cool. I'm cool with any religion. It is what it is. Everyone has their own thing. This whole terrorism thing, I'm not cool with. That's absolutely ridiculous. And when you think about UFC 205 coming up right around the corner, you think who's on that card. When you hear this, your mind goes crazy. Like, you got this guy on that card. What can you expect? You know, like, you got to think that with this story coming out, I mean, ooh, that's some scary stuff, man. That's some.
Get the hell out of me, Chris.
No? Holy cow, man. I'm hoping that these are just rumors. I'm hoping that
ask any of your listeners, if they're writing in, did anybody read that article?
If anyone is in the chat, yeah, let me know.
Did anybody read that article?
Yeah, I would like to know. I'm curious about that. Read that whole article. Let me know what you guys think. Breaking news from Joey Mouth, if you're just jumping in right now. Crazy ties to crazy stuff. Rewind.
A couple of fighters have ties to the Muslim Brotherhood, and it's fact. It's not even a rumor.
Insane, guys. Well, let me know what you think about that. That's a chunk of info that's super interesting. I hate talking about negative stuff. Dan the Man is reading it right now.
I apologize about that.
No, it's not a problem. This is news, and we talk about MMA and anything in MMA. This is news, and it is interesting. It's a super interesting story. Dan the Man is on it. Dan the Man is reading it right now. Dan the Man, let us know. Let's see. Here we go. Israela says, the bets are so high, mafia always will be involved. Muslim, Italian, Chinese, Russian, all kinds of mafia. Yeah, well, especially the attention that this sport is getting right now. There's definitely...
I think there's a big difference in, you know, laying a few bets and stuff like that. I'm not saying that he pays guys to fall. What really stuck me in was, got me intrigued about it, wasn't even the Muslim factor, because I'm with you, Chris. It doesn't bother me. I just think terrorism, I don't care if you're I'm Catholic. I don't care if you're Catholic. If you're terrorism, I don't want anything to do with it, and I don't condone it in any way, shape, or form, especially since I had two friends actually, that were affected by 9/11, and, you know, you live in Queens. I'm right over the, you know, bridge. I'm in Jersey, but it really affected me in a big way. But what really affected me on the fighting standpoint was two things. That I love Frankie, and he represented an American, you know, way. You know what I'm saying? Like a really stand-up guy, always came in with the American flag before Conor started bringing the Irish flag in, because now it's like a trend. Everybody brings it in. That was just Frankie. He was an American boy, proud of it. To have him walk in with the Qatar flag, with the American, it kind of made me think about things, and I didn't understand it. And then reading this article, it almost kind of is a little bit scary, that it's almost like he's being brainwashed. And that's not me saying it in a bad way. It seems like that, you know, to all of a sudden bring that flag in, to start taking trips out to the Middle East to train these fighters, when you know your manager has trained fighters to fight hand-to-hand combat if they're caught. You wonder if some of these seminars are guys being trained that are going to use it in the wrong way.
Well, the U.S. does. They use it for their military. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if these crazy bastards are using it for themselves as well. I mean,
but this isn't a military, Chris. This is an organization that literally has no-go zones. Mm-hmm. There was an article that said that they set up communities in rural parts of the country, and they have videos, you'll see it in the article, that a cop can't even go in there because they get rocks and stuff thrown at them saying, get out of here. You're dirty American. They truly hate us.
Well, this is just in. Hillary has Trump in an armbar right now. Oh, no. Wait, I'm sorry. I read the wrong thing. Dude, this is crazy. This is freaking nuts, man. I want to read more on this. I'm curious. I'm hoping more news comes out about this, and hopefully this is someone, just running their mouth and spreading crazy stuff. I'm hoping Frankie doesn't have as much involvement as
well, that's the one thing I hope. But it's a fact. Ali does, and that was not BS. The Frankie thing, that's the thing I feel bad for, that he's getting terrorized on Twitter and stuff like that. And I hope I didn't add to that by telling this. But like I said, I'm a huge fan of the show, and I want to contribute in any way I can. And that's a story that I had on the burner, and I wanted to see what you guys thought.
There we go. You heard it here. You heard it here first from Joey Mouth. He dropped in, and he gave us a bombshell. No pun intended. No pun.
Exactly. No pun.
Know that. But, yeah, this is crazy news. Let me know what you think in the comments. Check it out. I mean, it seems like a pretty legit story. Hopefully Frankie's not tied up in this, and if he is, get the fuck out of there, Frankie. What are you doing? That's nuts.
And John, on a different note, man, you got to watch Paddy the Baddy, man. He's unbelievable. He actually has the belt that Conor left vacant when he left.
This is correct. It was funny. Right before I came on, I was torturing my wife watching some Paddy the Baddy highlights, just watching him dance and doing this. And I'm like, John, you got to watch this guy. He looks like the real deal, and he's funny as hell, man. He's got everything. He's the full package. He's a young kid. He's got a good mouth. He's a good fighter. And he's
very hard to understand because he's from Liverpool, and they have their own distinct English accent. So when he talks, it's very it's amusing to hear him talk. And he doesn't hold that back anything. He really thinks that if he goes to the UFC, Conor has a lot to worry about. He wants a fight against Conor. So does Michael Venom Page, and I've been bringing him up for the last couple of weeks. That guy's a beast. If he steps foot in UFC, he's going to be a champion.
Oh, he is ridiculous. He is beyond ridiculous. Very good fighter. Paddy the Baddy seems like a beetle that's lost his way and became a badass, like a badass. But yeah, it's true. Like, listen to him talk. It's tough to wrap your head around what he's saying, because he's quick with his tongue, and he's if you can understand him, he's pretty funny. But yeah, he's got a gimmick, and he's seems like a likable guy. I'd like to see him jump into that octagon and cause a ruckus. I don't think he would fight McGregor anytime soon, but you never know, man. You never know. What do you think, Joey? We were talking about Conor McGregor before. What do you think with his announcement? Dan the Man brought it up before. What is this announcement going to be? Is it going to be a baby? Is he taking a break? Is he going to fight Mayweather? What is the deal with Conor McGregor?
Well, I've heard two things. One was from his jiu-jitsu coach, that guy Damon, I believe his name is. He's a New York guy, but he flies over to SBG to train them. And real quick, that's another thing that Paddy's involved with. Paddy is from SBG Liverpool, I believe. But or not Liverpool, the one in England that they opened up. But anyway, the question that you asked was, what do I think of his announcement? I think that Damon, the jiu-jitsu coach, said that he doesn't believe he's going to step away from fighting. He thinks it's going to just be a break because, like I said, I heard two things. One is that he's having a baby. Another one is I heard that when he got home, he had so much change in his life that he has to have bodyguards around him now. He has to have a gated community that he lives in because people were going to his house and being really intrusive. I believe that the second story might be true, that he wants to just settle down and get his family life back and possibly go low-key for a while. That's what I think it is. I think if it is the baby, though, it's understood, man. You know, I don't know if you have kids, Chris, but it's a very big part of your life. And, you know, for a fighter like him, he doesn't get to go to the store anymore. He can't just go to Whole Foods and pick up, you know, regular stuff and go back home. Those days are over, and it's a sin. It affects his personal life.
Yeah, I think that – I don't think he's going to retire. I think he's going to – at first I thought he was going to say, I'm retired, and take a break and then pop up against Mayweather. I do feel, though, for some reason, I just think after this is all said and done in 205, if he wins this belt, I feel he's going to run off and work a Mayweather thing out. I just feel it's such a big money opportunity that's going to happen, and I think that's what that little break is going to help him do, gather his personal life together and get that big, super crazy, nutty fight against Mayweather. Johnny, what do you think on this? Does Conor McGregor, does he retire? Or is he just taking a break? What is he doing, John? What do you think?
I don't think the Mayweather fight's ever going to happen. People keep forgetting one thing. McGregor, he's going to take time off. But Mayweather's an older dude now. I don't know how long you think Mayweather's going to wait to fight him. So I think it's I think he's got the family thing going on, and I think he's going. It ain't going to be as much time as people think. I don't think he's taking a year off. I think because Conor fights so frequently, people, him taking time off he's not going to fight in 3 months. I think you'll see him pop up again in July, and he'll fight whatever the big fight is. Maybe it's fucking Diaz 3. Who knows? It depends on what. I think a lot's going to depend on if he beats Alvarez. I think he'll take about 6 months off, get his life together with the baby, if that's the truth, or whatever it is. Maybe his girl just wants a little more tender loving care. But I think he'll take about 6 months off, and he'll be right back in the thick of things. But I don't think Mayweather's ever.
Yes, sir.
Whoa, he agrees.
Yes, sir.
I agree, John. I don't think that he'll ever fight Mayweather, and it's not only the fact that Mayweather's older and stuff like that. I just think that both of them have such huge egos that neither of them want to get stomped in their own profession. Mayweather would never go to MMA, and Conor, if he goes to boxing, he might be the best boxer in MMA, but that's like saying I'm the best, basketball player against guys that are shorter than 5 foot. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that it's not a huge factor, especially somebody against Mayweather. Look what he did to Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? This guy's not a joke.
I think it's a lose. It's a win-win for both of them. That's what I think it is.
Money-wise,
yeah.
Ego-wise.
But even if McGregor did lose over there, he'd be like, it's boxing. I have restrictions. I don't think Mayweather's going to knock out McGregor. I can't see that happening. But
really? Wow.
I can't see it happening. I don't know. I just don't think. I think McGregor's the bigger man, and McGregor's got a chin. You put heavier gloves on him. I don't know. I can't see it happening. But I could.
What do you think about the story of him knocked out in training?
It's bullshit. Yeah, everything I read.
The guy that supposedly knocked him out just signed a 6-fight deal to UFC.
Yeah, I mean, the next day he posted a picture of himself clean, nothing. They said he broke his nose. His nose looked fine. I smell BS. I think they just want to hype up this kid, and just, have him come out there. I think it was a publicity thing. I don't think anything of it. I really don't.
What do you think about Conor possibly saying that his new, and this is way out of left field, but what about if he said, I'm going to open up my own fighting promotion, because he did trademark and buy out McGregor Management and McGregor Productions, I believe it is, he owns. Now, I know that he's managing a couple of the fighters at SBG because he's the one that they send in to do negotiations. That's how that guy got a fight. That's how the hooligan started getting fights. He's the guy that talks to the UFC. They take his word. But can you imagine if he opened up his own promotion? It would kind of make sense for what Dana said, that he said it's completely out of left field. And it wouldn't be illegal because Conor could stay fighting as a fighter in UFC, but open up his own cage rage, for lack of a better word, in the Ireland area and get up-and-coming Europeans a spotlight.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen because of what happened, like how he says he wants to get out of the game young, and seeing what happened to his friend. Didn't his friend get, severely injured? Something happened to him. He had some sort of...
His friend killed a guy in the ring. A Portuguese fighter came over to Ireland and fought in a tournament, and his friend from SBG fought him, and the guy hasn't fought since. The guy, actually, no, he fought his first fight last month, the guy that knocked him out, and it took him to go to, sports psychologists and the whole nine because he had so much, basically PTSD, knowing that he killed this guy. In fact, they had a open court session, they have a different type of court system in Ireland, but the closest thing I could compare it to is when they have hearings like they had for steroids in baseball. They had a big hearing on protecting the fighters in their sport, and Kavanaugh was chose to sit on the major board of all these guys to make the rules, basically, of what refs have to do, and it all started from that one fight. The Portuguese guy got beat up, had a brain injury, went to the hospital, and never left. But he did walk out of the ring.
Gotcha. I'm just brushing up on the comments. I see people are talking. We go back. Oh, Conor, heart. That's from Israelis. I guess you like Conor. That's nice. And we like Conor too. If he wins, maybe he will propose to D in the ring. Oh, that's so sweet.
That would be great.
That would be so nice. John vomits. All right, Dan the Man, I feel like he's dragging it on Too much for it to be a baby. Okay, you don't think it's going to be a baby? Maybe he has AIDS or something. Okay, Dan?
God forbid.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And then he puts I kid. Okay, Dan, we hope so. Okay. What the fuck? All right. Israel said, Conor beat cancer, AIDS, all diseases. All diseases. Every day.
It's a tumor. It's not a tumor.
All right. So, yeah, even if it was AIDS, Conor would beat that too. He would KO it. He would finish that AIDS in the first round. Let's see. Conor ate 10 to 15 good, clean punches in the face from Chad Mendes, and he didn't even blink. Well, he got cut up. He did get cut up, and he turned around and killed him.
If Alvarez does anything similar to what Mendes did in the first round of that fight, Conor's in for a rude awakening. But Frankie, again, says that his stand-up game is so good and his chin is so good that Alvarez is going to stand up and bang with him, knowing that Conor won't take it to the ground, especially since what happened when he tried taking Nate to the ground.
You know, it's funny. I rewatched some of Conor's old fights. I watched a 145 fight for the belt, and then I watched a 155 fight for the belt. It's funny the difference in a fighter in McGregor is. Like, watching him at 145, he looks fast, he's nimble, he moves around like lightning, and he has that power. At 155, he's not as quick. He's precise, he's got power, but he's slower. He's a lot slower, I noticed there. It's weird. He's a totally different fighter at 155. It's interesting to watch. So I'm curious. Now he's dropping, he's fighting these crazy 170 fights. Now he's going back to 150. He's going down to 155. You got to think he's going to be a little faster. His cardio's got to be a little bit better now. I'm assuming his cardio is going to be better, but it's interesting to see the difference between 155 and 145. Man.
What's really crazy to see is look at the pictures of the weigh-ins. He literally looked, speaking of what Dan the Man said about, God forbid, him having AIDS, he looked like he did when he took that picture of him before he fought Aldo. And then look at the picture of him before he fought Nate. It's like two totally different people. I honestly think, because after that fight, that was when they started making rules up to change the way they weigh in, and that's why they do it the day before now, and you got to it's just a different thing. They cut out the IV bag. It's because they want to protect the fighters. Another reason is back to that guy that died from Portugal. He died because it was an after effect of cutting weight, and the reason being is our bodies are made up of 70% water, and a lot of that water protects our brain. So when the brain is dry, it has no cushion on the sides. So that's why when you see people dying in boxing or in fighting, it's normally the lower level fighters, and people are curious, well, why it would be lower weight fighters when the heavyweights hit harder? You're absolutely right. The heavyweights don't have to cut. Their brain is completely fine. When you're a lower weight and you have to cut, your brain isn't. And a good way to picture it is the woodpecker, not to sound like a science guy, but the woodpecker has his tongue wrap all the way around his brain. It starts in the front and wraps all the way to the forehead. So every time he hits, he's got protection. But our brain doesn't.
That's kind of like John's cock. It's wrapped around his brain, and it goes...
Exactly like John's cock.
John, tell him. It's wrapped around your brain. It comes out. It impregnates women and goes right back, Johnny, what do you say? That's a good point, though. That really actually the woodpecker thing has got me thinking. I have nightmares about that woodpecker. Now, next time I see a woodpecker, I'm going to be like, holy shit, that tongue.
Well, to be honest, isn't it amazing that it does that, though? Like, it makes its own protection because it has to hit the wood constantly all day long. So it protects itself.
Yeah, it makes total sense. And actually, and the weight cut thing makes absolute sense, too. That's actually a good point that you bring up there. That's actually a very good point.
What I'm here for, Chris.
Joey, you're a good guy. You're a team player. Joey.
What did you say?
Johnny, you there?
What'd you say, Johnny boy?
Sorry, it's an empty. The Rangers just pulled the goalie in them. Kind of.
Oh,
fuck's sake!
Come on, John.
What's the score, John? Out of curiosity.
2-1 Detroit.
Still 2-1. Oh, my family's gonna have a field day with me.
Chris, you don't like the Islanders? You're a Ranger fan?
I am a Ranger fan. Yes. Had season tickets for a long time. Giant season ticket. We're all the opposite teams. I noticed from your jet mural in the background.
Oh yeah, big time Jets.
So yeah, we are opposite teams. I got sucked into the Rangers, Giants, Mets.
When I was a kid, I grew up liking the Islanders because my parents loved the Islanders. I mean, back to the Dennis Poppin days. But I started really liking the Rangers when I was younger. When I was when Ty Domi was on the team. I could still name the 94 team that won, but then I just kind of fell back to my roots and stuck with the Islanders. But as you can tell, the reason why I switched is because I'm a front runner. That's why I like the Jets too.
Yeah, the Jets. I feel for Jet fans, man. I feel that's a tough situation right there. At least the Islanders had that block that was just ridiculous. I mean, it was a while ago, but it was. I mean, that
4 Stanley Cups in a row, and the 5th year they made it to the finals. The problem with the Islanders and the Jets, and I truly believe this, their front offices don't know how to ride on a good wave. They get rid of the players that do it, and then look at what the Islanders did with their 3rd line. That was the 4th line with the Martin line. They were great players. They really livened up the action, and they get rid of all those guys. They got rid of Okposo, and then you look at the Jets. It's like we give a quarterback. Look, I love Fitzpatrick too, but you're giving this guy $12 million, and they're 1-5, and he's a bust. And it almost brings me back to when Rex Ryan was there. We had Tim Tebow. They said, no, we're going to wait for the right opportunity to put him in. Well, when's the right opportunity? You're 1-5.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Fitzpatrick, this guy, he looks lost out there, and it's like now, man, Geno Smith, I don't know if he's the end.
Geno looks better now. I'm starting to want to see Geno. It's ridiculous, man.
I'm trying to think if I were a Jet fan, where would I want to go with this? Man, that's some decision. You know what to do with that team. The team is it's in disarray. Before the season started, it actually looked pretty damn good on paper. And now what's his face? The receiver that haven't what's his name? Has 2 surgeries going on. Johnny, help us out here. The white guy, what the hell's his fucking name?
Oh God, Decker.
Decker, yes. Decker. He's having 1 surgery, and now he's gonna have a shoulder surgery afterwards, and what a disaster. What an absolute disaster.
The season's basically over. What I think that they should do, and the sad thing is we knew 2017 was going to be a rebuilding year. They wanted to keep the core group together from last year, but the problem is you can't remake desperation. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you have a good team and you're riding on a wave, that's one thing, but a lot of those wins last year were full adrenaline wins. Just like when Tebow was on the Broncos and they beat Pittsburgh in the playoff game. They didn't want to take a risk the next year because they said you can't remake momentum. If you're on momentum and you got everything's going full throttle, that's great. But you can't say, all right, tomorrow do the same thing. Pretend we're at our backs against the wall. You can't do that. And that's what the Jets tried to do. Instead of building another team, they did everything that they normally do. And that's why the Jets normally suck. And I'm a Jet fan.
Yeah, it's a mess. I'm taking a look in the chat. Let's see what's going on. I see some stuff going on. He didn't have the strength to speak into the mic. Walking Zombie. He's talking about McGregor. Dan the Man. Anyone want to play rock, paper, scissors in the chat? Okay. Dan the Man wants to get a –
You, Chris.
If it says – okay, come on. Invincible Summer has a bunch of stars, blocks, stars. I have no idea what that means. Dan, brother, maybe Floyd will rock Connor. Okay, we got some Floyd comments over here. I don't know Floyd so well. I haven't watched him much, but I'm sure he is a hell of a fighter and would be I can't fucking talk today. And would be poetic.
You know what would be weird about the fight? They're both defensive fighters. They're counter strikers. You can't touch Floyd because he hides behind his shoulder like this. And Connor waits for you to come in and do the side or left-handed punch. They're both going to sit and dance in the ring.
God, it would be
That's how the fight would be.
It would be fascinating watching everyone break down that fight. I'm not a huge boxing guy, and I'm not a Floyd Mayweather guy either. But just to see MMA, even though it would be under boxing rules, just to see it happening, it would be fantastic. And did you see what Manny Pacquiao said about fighting McGregor? That you wouldn't fight a shark in the ocean. You would have to drag him out in the land and fight him there. And that's why they want to fight under boxing rules. I thought that was a fantastic comment.
That was a great quote. I didn't read that. That's a great quote.
Yeah, when he was done beating up his wife, I think he said it. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, I think in the middle.
Speaking of beating up the wife, I know I'm getting off topic with this.
Pistorius?
Did you hear about Brown, the Giants kicker?
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Pistorius, that guy with the leg that killed his wife in the shower from South Africa.
No, I didn't hear that.
He got released from prison for 4 days.
Oh, nice. Good for him.
Yeah. So for 4 days, he gets to hang out and go back.
What a mess. Holy shit. I was just reading an article before about Brown, the kicker for the Giants, and he just came out and was like, yeah, I mentally abused my wife and physically abused my wife. And then he said that he wanted her to call him a god, and she was his slave.
Now, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, she should, give a little, take a little.
It's totally normal. He's acting like
Totally.
he's acting like an MMA hole. That's what he's acting like. But it's fucking funny. They're just like, yeah, whatever. What are you gonna do? She was my slave. Crazy. Johnny, is that how you talk to your wife?
I don't see any black eyes on Johnny, so I don't think he does.
Let's see. I'm hiding in the basement, away from her.
Far, far away. I think my wife just fell asleep. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna tell her who the god is. Now, listen. I'm gonna be right back. You guys hold down.
That sounds like what. I was gonna say that sounds like what Chael Sonnen said to what's it called, to Anderson Silva. He said if he fought him at the time, he wanted Chael to retire. I mean, what's it called? Was going to retire. Chael was going to retire if he lost. He wanted Anderson Silva to retire for no less than 1 year, and put a statue of Chael in the house and worship him every night before he went to sleep. That was all he did.
The Chael Anderson thing was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
It was classic. It was classic.
That was so. Chael Sonnen is the best. Listen, hold that thought, guys. Hold it down, Johnny and Joey. Hold it down in there. I'm gonna go drain the main vein. I'll be right back. I'm gonna hand the show over to you guys. MMA-holes, be ready. Be ready. We're gonna have the Joey and Johnny show. The Jay's in the house.
Name, actually.
I'm gonna piss. I'm gonna get a little refill, and I might have a little scotch. I might bring a little scotch on the way back. Hold down the fort, guys.
Johnny boy. So Johnny, who's your favorite fighter in UFC? Just curious. Who do you like? Like, who do you wait for? And don't say McGregor, other than McGregor.
No, I'm not McGregor number one. I was always John Jones until his latest catastrophe. I would say probably now is probably Weidman.
Oh, really? Yeah. Is that because he's a local guy?
Yeah, that's why. It's funny. Like, we always watch the UFC. Like, I wasn't as into it as Chris and Jay, but when Weidman beat Silva the first time, I really got heavy into it.
Yeah.
And,
Although, do you think that's like an asterisk on Weidman's career? Being that they say he knocked him out because Anderson was fooling around in the ring, and that's when he caught him. And then the second fight, when he wanted to prove this wasn't a fluke, Anderson got his leg broke.
Well, here's my thing with Weidman. He was undefeated going into that fight. And the second fight, even before Anderson broke his leg, Weidman was throwing him around like a rag doll.
Yeah.
Like, Silva did the same fight in the second fight. Now, do I think was he more on the first fight and he played around too much? Yeah. But Silva always did that. He just got caught in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
These guys, it's amazing seeing some of these guys. Like, Robbie Lawler is a good example. That guy,
I was going to say that.
With Conduit and McDonald, that guy was like, he took beatings. And then Woodley hits him with one shot and he's friggin' unconscious. It's amazing that these guys with these strong-ass jaws, they just get caught the wrong way and it's friggin' all over.
Yeah. It's so hard to do MMA math. You know what I'm saying? Like, before a fight, say, well, he beat him, and then he beat him, because these guys are pros. One fight can knock them out. Well, I mean, one punch in the right spot could knock them out, and you hit the nail on the head, because I was just about to mention that. When Robbie Lawler fought Rory McDonald, that was probably the best fight I've ever seen and the goriest fight I've ever seen. My girl couldn't even watch it. She literally had to get up and leave. And to be honest with you, I was pretty close at the end, because I can't help but put my face in their position. You know what I'm saying? And pretend, what would I do if I was hit like that? And I got my nose broken once. I couldn't even see, John.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's the first thing that happens. Your freaking eyes blow up. It's retarded. But those two, like you said, that was like the most gruesome fight. And then Lawler got in there with Conduit, which was another bloodbath.
Oh.
And then suddenly got him down. I couldn't believe it. When I saw that, I'm like, are you kidding me? This guy had the jaw of all.
I was pissed. Talk about leading up to a big climax and then busting your nut like nothing happened. Yeah. What about Johnny Hendricks? I love Big Rig, man. Him and Ruthless Robbie Lawler fought a great fight too, twice.
Yeah,
I think
it's a shame seeing Hendricks go through what he's going through now, because the guy was great, and he really should have beat GSP when he fought him. I mean, I think so.
GSP was found to have Vaseline all over him. He couldn't grip him because he knew he was a good wrestler. And you know what? Johnny Hendricks has probably the best quote of UFC I've ever heard, and no one ever talks about it. It was classic. He went into a weigh-in and was about to weigh in. They found out he was overweight by like a half a pound, and the camera was standing next to him. and not expecting to hear him talk. It was just standing there, and you hear Johnny Hendricks go, "All right, let's get out of here. I'm going to go home and have a shit." So he could drop the half a pound to make weight. I thought that was classic. I'm going to go home and have a shit.
Fucking Johnny.
You're going to go just in the back.
So, Johnny Hendricks, I missed the part. Who did you think won that fight with Johnny Hendricks and GSP?
Oh, Johnny Hendricks, man, by far.
I mean,
by far.
Fuck, right? I was livid.
Look at GSP's face. That's a great story too, because Dana White actually told GSP prior that the press conference was off to him. They said, "Don't worry about it. You got to go to the hospital. It's off." So George St-Pierre stuck around anyway and didn't understand why all the fighters were going in. So he walks in. If you really want to see something cool, go to YouTube and watch that post-press conference and look at Dana's face when GSP walks in. It's like he saw a ghost because he didn't want him to be there because he was so angry that GSP had Vaseline all over him. Because the trick was, some guys have gotten caught doing it in the ring. But what really works, and I'm not condoning cheating, but what you do is you put it all over your body. Then you wipe it off with a towel and act normal because when you sweat, it's going to sweat it out of your pores, and then they can't say, "Hey, wait, we saw you put Vaseline on."
Unbelievable.
That's absolutely
Very
true.
old.
It comes out of your pores when you sweat. Exactly.
I'm sending out a tweet, guys. I'm twittering. I'm in the Twitterverse, and I'm telling everyone we're live. Come say hi because I like more friends to come in to join the MMA-HOLES.
You know what? I'm really shocked that there's not more people that watch this. I watch a lot of podcasts or listen to a lot of podcasts that have to do with fighting, but the atmosphere on here, and I'm not blowing smoke, it feels like it's just a bunch of friends shooting the shit, talking about fights. I don't know why more people aren't coming.
Yeah, well, tonight would be – I knew that was going to be a tough one with the debate. I knew that was going to be – because honestly, I would be watching the debate too. But we have something more important going on here.
But I got it DVRing, you know what I'm saying? So
that's the thing. I'm going to jump on YouTube, and you could just watch the whole thing right afterwards. So, yeah.
What about The Ultimate Fighter? You watched that?
I just watched last week's today, and I know there was one tonight. I have to watch that one. That's been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I don't have a pick right now of who I want to win. The only thing is I don't feel that whoever is going to win this I just don't feel they're good enough to beat Mighty Mouse. I can't see it.
The only person I think is going to beat Mighty Mouse is if they have him fight Dobbs again. Dobbs beat him.
Yeah. Actually, I could see that. I could see that.
He beat him when there wasn't that division. He beat him at 135, not 125.
Yeah, he's a whole different fighter over here. It's crazy. It really is. It's man. You know what's funny? Earlier today, earlier on the show, someone was saying about Aldo, and what if Aldo fought Cruz as that fight, as the co-main event? Like wow. It didn't even jump into my head, and I thought that was fantastic. I mean, how great would that be? An Aldo versus Cruz fight. I mean,
let me ask you something. Would the fight be a super fight or for the belt? Because both of them have a belt. Yeah,
it would have. Well, they were saying in the chat that it would have to be at 145. So I'm assuming that would be for a belt. Yeah. It sounds like a lose-lose for Aldo because what does he really get to gain? You know, in that.
Yeah, if he gets the 135, he's going to give it back, and then in which case does that automatically go to Cruz or it stays vacant until the two people fight for it again?
Yeah, it sounds like there would be a lot to go on, and you know Aldo can't go any lower than 145. I mean, the way he cuts to get to 145. But when
it drives me crazy about that division, the three people that really need to fight right now and really can't stand each other and really are going to produce a great fight for if you had Uriah Faber is TJ Dillashaw, Cruz, and Cody Garbrandt. I mean, when is that going to happen? Because I can tell you right now, Garbrandt should fight Dillashaw. Uriah already fought Cruz, so he lost. So it's almost like a tournament. Whoever wins the Dillashaw-Cody fight should fight for the belt for Cruz. And no one talks about it. I don't understand. Cody No Love is a beast.
Cody, I would love, as a fan, I would love to see Cody just boom, skip everyone and go to Cruz to fight. But I know it's not realistic. It's just totally not realistic. And I think
he's undefeated. He's ranked what, 5th?
Well, you know, they've done it before. They've had look at Henderson. I mean, they have people just jump all the time. But I think they have to give it to I think they have to give the rematch to Dillashaw for the cruise, and I would love to see Lineker fight Cody. I would love to see that. Those two animals in the ring together, just slugging it out. No,
What's Lineker's record?
Lineker that's a good question. Let's pull him up. He's done very well, and he's ranked number 3, I think. Johnny, do you remember?
Hold on, let's check. Second-ranked fighter.
Yeah, he's either 2 or 3.
Yeah, because the only knock on Cody was that he fought tomato cans other than his last fight.
Problem with Lineker is he doesn't make weight. That's his problem. He's had issues with making weight, and that could play in as a factor. But I mean, his last fight was against John Dodson. I'm trying to pull it up.
Oh, really? Did he win or lost?
He won by decision. Honestly, I thought Dodson.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That just happened. That just happened not too long ago.
But he had that slugfest like 2 fights prior to it. The guy is just head down, move forward, swing like a lunatic, eat punches, throw punches, and looks to finish every fight. Yeah, hold on. I'm going to pull him up right now. Here we go. Lineker. That's my Lineker song. Okay, here we go. Presenting to everybody. Here we are. So, yeah, you look at it, man. Win, 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 win. All I do is win, win, win. A little loss over here. But, yeah, dude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fight win streak.
Now, can you do me a favor? Type on Cody No Love. I'm curious to see some of the fighters that he fought.
Cody's been on a tear. And
yeah. He's undefeated. I know that. He lost prior to going to the UFC. Right before he signed with Team Alpha Male, he got knocked the hell out by a kid. The video's on YouTube. I mean, lights out.
He has been so good.
10-0.
Ridiculous. And hasn't lost. And, yeah, if you look right over here, well, this is – I mean, he hasn't been in the UFC.
Almeida and Mizugaki was his 2 biggest.
Okay, Mizugaki was his last one. Yeah, round 1 KO was fantastic. Yeah, KO. Unanimous, he went the Henry – that's interesting. I don't know.
Dude, that dude he was undefeated too. Remember when those 2 fought?
Yes, I do remember that. I'm looking at this one here versus Henry Briones. Hold on. That was a decision, a 3-round decision. I don't remember this guy. I don't remember this fight.
Was that the Briones? That wasn't the undefeated one. The undefeated one was who did he fight that was undefeated? It was on a fight night a couple of 3 months ago, 4 months ago.
Johnny, I think you said it. Hold on. Who was it? Oh, Almeida. Yes, Almeida.
Almeida, yeah, Almeida, that was it. And that shocked everybody because Almeida was a beast. I mean, 10-0 is a great record, but think about it. 21 wins, man. Mm-hmm. Some players don't even have 21 cage appearances.
It's this guy, he looks vicious. When he gets in the ring, he's got that psychotic look on his face. I don't think he speaks English. Who cares? He could throw. And the fact that Cody went in there 1 round, finished him.
When's his next fight coming up? Oh, fight night, November 19th.
Yeah, he's fighting Albert Morales.
Morales is pretty good.
I think that is a fight night. Here's Morales right here. Let's pull him. And
yeah, Morales is pretty good, man.
Yeah, I don't know much about him. And it doesn't look like he's.
Check his record.
Yeah, I'm checking right now.
I've heard Joe Rogan talk a lot about him.
Yeah, I don't think he only has 2.
He must have been a Brazilian. He must have been a jiu-jitsu guy, and then now he's fighting. Because that's what they say about that guy Dylan that trains Connor. All these guys, that's like the UFC minor leagues now. For a while they were going to wrestlers, and I think they stopped because I don't know about you guys, but I love watching fights and I love watching skill sets. But when you see 2 guys rolling on the ground doing the grappling stuff, I want to shoot myself. It almost makes me feel a little fruity. All you're seeing is asses and spread out and fucking. If you're down there and you're not going for a submission, stand them up. This is fighting.
I'll never forget. We went to a friend's house, and there was one. Not that there's anything wrong with it. There was one guy that likes to go the same way, and he was watching it, and he's like, "How do you guys watch it? It's so arousing." And we all looked at each other like, "We never in a million years." We were like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, look, they're rolling around with each other." It never dawned on me that this could be. Interesting for the same sex, but
for the homosexual community, that might be some I don't know, secret porn.
Seems like a home run for them, but hey.
And then they could kind of hang out with their friends. But yeah, man, let's watch the fight tonight, please.
Yeah. I see in the comments it says Lineker is a dwarf. Okay, he is actually. Lineker looks like a lollipop kid. I could see that.
Say it to his face.
Yeah. Dude, that guy is a mean motherfucker. It's a big opportunity for the last. Okay, that's funny, man. Yeah, jeez. But it's funny. I was hoping Jay would jump in, and we missed my buddy Jay. He's another one. When they go, as soon as they go to the ground, he yells, "Stand them up!" No matter where we are, stand them up, stand them up. He wants to see him up. He wants to see him bang. I don't mind if they're on the ground and they're constantly advancing, and
Absolutely.
it's like a chess match. I'm in. I'm 100% in. I could watch that, no problem. They're constantly trying to advance and just do things to finish the fight or just advance your position. It's a beautiful thing to watch, and a lot of people that don't understand are just like, this is boring. They're just laying on each other. There are times where they are laying on each other and it sucks, but there's another percentage of it that it's actually interesting watching these guys defend certain moves and slickly move around. And I mean, you would know better than anybody, you know?
No, absolutely, and I love it. But even somebody that, you know, I'm like I said, I'm a low belt. I'm not big in it, and I love doing it. It's almost like baseball. I love baseball to play it, but watching it compared to another sport is not the best sport to watch. It's not friendly it's not an eye-friendly game, for lack of a better word. You know what I'm saying? But when you're in it, it's great. When you're watching a Brazilian jiu-jitsu match and you don't really know all the nooks and crannies and all the intricacies, I challenge you to not fall asleep. Because I watched, quote-unquote, one of the best fights ever when you watched Eddie Bravo fight the Gracie that really put Eddie Bravo on the map, that he beat him and he submitted the best submitter in the world. That was talked about on Rogan for weeks, so much so that I had to Google it and watch it. And I'm telling you, Chris, it was horrible. Like, I couldn't watch it. It was like watching a fight that you want to turn off because they're rolling around too much. But these people loved it. So I guess it depends on who's watching it. But I don't know the intricacies that well to the point of, you know, standing up and cheering when he gets like an underarm or you know, a lock going on, or doing like Eddie Bravo's known for the twister. You know, I don't know the intricacies enough to know what leads to it. I only know when it happens.
Yeah. It's there's so many moves. There's so many. It's like a person watching football for the first time and just like, wait, what are they doing now? Why they stop doing this? Why are they doing that? There's so many little things. And I always tell people it's a chess match. When they're on the floor, it's like it's literally a chess match. It's mind games they're playing with each other. And it's super interesting.
Especially in football. But you know what's crazy in football? They said if you were to rewind a game and record it and just press play on the action in the game, you know how many minutes there are of action in the game in a 60 minutes?
What, in a football game?
Yeah. Take a guess.
Oh, shit. How many minutes of action in a football game?
Just strictly action, where the quarterback's throwing the ball or running the ball, just the action.
Wow. Man, I wouldn't even know where to start with that one.
9 and 12 minutes. That's it.
Really? For a full entire game?
Just between 9 and 12 minutes.
Wow. That's kind of like our broadcast. It's 3 hours. You get 9 or 12 good minutes out of us. That's going to be our slogan at the MMA-HOLES. Hey, listen, tune in for 3 hours. We'll give you 9 to 12 minutes.
Got it.
I see Dan the man. Okay, guys. All right, see you later, Dan. It was good. Dan says goodbye to everybody and throws the two fingers up. Says,
peace out, Danny boy.
Dan, listen, before you go, we might do a show on Friday. Might do a quick Bellator Fight Buddies. Might do it.
I think we should do that, Chris. I love Bellator, but the announcing isn't the same as hearing Rogan. I'd love to hear you over it.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk you guys right through. I'm gonna hold your hand and be like, guys, listen, I'll take you into the Bellator cage and we'll talk. Yeah, I think it'd be fun. If I could gather a couple of friends together, we might throw it together and have a couple of drinks. Might have a couple of drinks right here, and we'll all laugh and talk. I like doing it.
Johnny, you drink? I mean, it sounded like I was asking Johnny. What are you, Chris? What are you drinking? Johnny Walker?
Oh, this is apple juice.
Oh,
no. This is a older man. Yeah, I like to drink double black. That's why I like to drink a little Johnny Walker double black. I like to do that. It's cheap. It's easier on the pocket, and it has a woody foresty taste. And I like to drink the forest.
Now, are you the type of person that could tell the difference? I'm a vodka drinker myself, and I could tell on a blind taste test which one's Stoli, because that's my drink. I don't like Kettle.
I mean, I'll drink it, but I don't really like Kettle. Definitely don't like Sky. I'm a Stoli guy. Can you tell the difference if I was to hand you Johnny Walker and let's say, I don't know, Jack Daniels?
Since I am a newbie with the Scotch, like we were doing whiskey for a while, and I slowly became in love with Scotch.
See, I don't even know the difference between those two.
What's that?
God, I don't even know the difference between those two, whiskey and Scotch.
You know, it's funny. I like to shoot whiskey, like a little Jameson, you know, a cheap little shoot, throw it right down the hatch. Scotch is a sipping gentleman's drink. You sit there, you could put a rock in it, you could do whatever the hell you want to it. I drink it neat, nothing in it. You pour it right in the cup, you sip on it. It's an acquired taste, but it's become a nice little comfy, you know, cozy drink of mine. So that's why Scotch, I like to just sip on it and enjoy.
Now, what would happen if you chugged it? It's just, I mean, it's not made to do that, but I'm saying if you did it like a shot, would it be disgusting?
If I chug Scotch, it would be the same as any other drink. You know, it's just Scotch, for some reason, it's like smoking a cigar. You sit there, you sip on it, like smoking on that cigar. I like it very woody. I like a foresty taste. And that gives me the illusion of like sitting down and smoking a cigar. I quit smoking a while ago, so I don't get the option of having that smoke. You know, every once in a while I'll have a cigar, but I don't smoke cigarettes much. So Scotch is my new poison, where I have that every once in a while and just hang out, you know, just let loose.
So now, John, you look like a wine drinker. I could picture you having a nice glass of red. I'm only busting chops. You look like a beer guy.
I'm more of a beer or Scotch guy. Although at a party we were at the other night, I did drink a bottle and a half of red wine.
I'm 100% Italian, and my mother loves wine, and I can't take it. I can't. It's disgusting. When I was a kid and I couldn't sleep, now it's, I mean, I don't want you to think my family was like degenerates, but when I couldn't sleep, my mother would give me a tiny, tiny sip of red wine. Like you know, I don't know how old I was, but I was a kid, and that was like I guess an old Sicilian remedy, and that was what I remember of it. And it used to taste disgusting, and yeah, I used to try to make myself go to sleep, anything to not taste that. So I have that as bad taste in my mouth. I like to drink things that taste. Yeah, well, to me, I like things that taste good. So I like a Stoli with club soda and a splash of Sprite to give it like a little taste. It's a good drink.
Stoli and vodka. That's a Stoli vodka.
Stoli and vodka is a really good drink, Chris.
Yeah.
It's good. Well, Stoli is vodka. I was saying it sarcastic.
Yeah. No, vodka. It was funny. Vodka. I got on a vodka kick for a while, right, Johnny? We did a little vodka for a little while. We mixed it up, right? A little vodka OJ, a little vodka pineapple. Vodka pineapple I used to drink all the time when I was a little younger. When I was short.
Vodka with pineapple juice, but you throw a little bit of Malibu in it, and I'm telling you, it tastes just like a pina colada. Just like it. But I'm talking a tiny bit of Malibu because it's too sweet for me. It gives me a headache the next day.
I will think of that. I will think my fault.
I'm telling you, it tastes good.
You know, it sounds like a good drink. If you go to Atlantic City, you sit down at the table, you want to sip on something, keep you going. It sounds like something to switch it up. I might check that out.
I'm telling you, bro. That's exactly where I first started drinking it in AC. Because I would be playing blackjack. I'm a big blackjack player. And, yeah, they would come around and do their thing, and I would just take a couple of sips of my girl actually was drinking it, and I took a couple of sips, and I got hooked on it. There
you go. It's funny. When you always discover that drink. Actually, I feel like I discovered Scotch at Atlantic City. I feel like I was like, let me have a Scotch. I was just horsing around. And I feel like Atlantic City was the way that dragged me into this vortex of Scotch. So I could totally see that. A drink change going from Atlantic City, Vegas, any place where you're sitting at a beautiful table and gambling with beautiful waitresses coming by. And, of course, you look, because we're married. I'm married, at least. I don't know about you, but you said you had a girlfriend. Yeah. And that's how that works. Oh, here's
Chris, I know you guys go to AC as well as Las Vegas. Now, not by the standards of a vacation spot because it doesn't compete. But as far as the gambling, what do you like better, AC or Vegas?
Well,
just the gambling aspect. I'm
going to start that one off with Johnny afterwards. Gambling, strictly gambling. So when I go to AC, it's just the Borgata. That's the only way I go. Borgata or bust. That's basically how it works. I go to Borgata. I sit there for hours.
Caesars at all?
I'm sorry, was that?
You never go to Caesars?
I used to. I used to go to Caesars. I used to bounce around a lot, and then now I sit at Borgata. You know, I just basically build up the comp, get the rooms, come and go, and that's basically how it works. Johnny, the same thing. I'm sure he.
They send you emails like they send me every once in a while. I get an email. They say, "Come down on us."
Yes, yeah, the Borgata does that, and I like it that they maintain it well. The only thing I don't like about the Borgata is it is off the strip. That kind of sucks a little bit, but you have everything you want there. So
wait, I have. It's like I feel like I'm going to a house party of a bunch of 21-year-olds on a Friday.
there's candy walking around on certain nights. There's eye candy walking around, and sometimes that helps. You know,
I don't mind the eye candy. I mind the boyfriends.
Yeah, it's funny. You know what I do? This is what I do. I learned this from a gentleman that went to a Met game. I went to a Met game, and this guy had an NYPD shirt on. And I was like, "Oh, you're a cop, this and that." And he goes, No. He goes, I wear the shirt. This is what he says. I wear the shirt so I get free stuff. He was getting free hot dogs. People were like, "Hey, you know," God. He goes, "That's why I wear the shirt." So what I started doing is I have a Fight Club shirt. I wear it, and everyone thinks I'm a fighter. So when I walk around with my Fight Club shirt, no one fucks with me. I sit at the table.
That's a great call, man. That's a great call. I know I was once one, but the age group between 18 and 23, I can't stand.
Well, we have some viewers that might fall into that age group, so I can't.
Oh, no, I apologize, but I just can't. I just don't like when they're rowdy, you know. Because look, I had a good time when I was younger, but I was walking back to my car in the Seaside, and my buddy lives out there, and I took my girl, and everybody left, and she wanted to stay, so I said, "All right, we'll go." And I'm walking down the boardwalk, and this group of kids started just busting my chops, and one of them did the wrong move. And he walked up to my girl and, like, kind of grabbed her arm to, like, walk away with her. And I said, "Hey, bro, slow your roll, dude." And he started talking and talking and talking. But his friends took my side. I don't know how it happened, just luck of the draw. And they kind of walked away and put it on him. But he was so embarrassed that he kept on wanting to fight me. And by the grace of God, when he threw a punch at me, he kind of grazed my face and hit more into my shoulder. And I took his arm, twisted it behind his back, and put him down to the ground, and a cop walked up right when that was happening, and the cop just put the cuffs on him and said, "Thanks, buddy, you helped me out," because he was being rowdy on the boardwalk. But it was all by the grace of God. If anything else, I would have got jumped.
Yeah.
His friends helped me out, and the cop being right there.
Powerhouse jumps in. Hey, Powerhouse, welcome back. He says, "Seaside, you can't judge based on what happens at Seaside."
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you, Powerhouse.
Seaside, yeah. Seaside, yeah. I mean, I live in Howard Beach. And Howard Beach in Queens is basically Seaside Heights dropped. It's like, I don't know. And I'm half Italian, you know, but you got
Do they do the fist pump?
Oh, dude. Go to Dunkin' Donuts over here, and it's like, yeah, whose car is nicer than whose, and it's just, it's crazy.
Z28s? Staten Island tuxedo?
It's tough. It's a tough crowd, but yeah, I could totally.
I'm Italian. I can't stand it. When I lived in Florida and came back here, everybody was like, in Florida was like, "Oh, does everybody spike their hair like situation? Does everybody?" And I'm like, "Look, I'm Italian, and I'll call them Guidos." Half of them weren't even Italian, but they gave us a bad name.
Under John's sleeveless shirt right now is a gigantic gold chain with a big cross on it, and John's the biggest Guido of the group right now. Oh, here it is. Joe, you got it?
I can with the horn.
All right. Give us a fist pump, Joe, and then we'll be ready to go. There it is. Joey Mouth fist pump, and
You gotta do the point.
I can't lie. My wife started watching the Jersey Shore when that thing exploded, right? In the beginning, I got to say, I jumped on it. It was funny as hell, man. It was a funny freaking show. Then it got a little long in the tooth, and it was like, okay, we're done. We're done, Jersey Shore.
Jump the shark.
Yeah, it went a little too long with the Snooki. Went a little too long with that.
She don't even look like the Snooki anymore. She's like this. She's as thin as a rail.
He's all like fitness now, right? Fitness in her mouth. No, come on, John. Come on. John's got to calm down. John, please take it down a notch.
I think
the only episode of Jersey
I think
watched was the South Park one.
Oh, the South Park Jersey Show was pretty damn funny.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, it was. I love South Park.
Let's see. Israel said, "Chris Siete Italiani." Wait, Chris Siete Italiani. Lo Tono Greco Greece. I don't know. I definitely fucked that up. Chris.
Capisce Italiano.
Ke? That's my wife's language. Ke? My wife happens to be Puerto Rican and Cuban.
Oh, God bless you, Chris.
She's a spicy one, but she's white. She's whiter than me, so you would never know, right, Johnny?
What are you, half Italian, half Irish?
I am half Italian. Hold on a second. I'm half Italian. Hold on. Give me a sec. I'm half Italian and half. FOOK.
No, so I mean, in my neighborhood in Jersey, that's what everybody is. They're either Irish or Italian.
Sorry. I'm getting a little out of control here. Everybody calm down. All right.
What are you, Johnny boy? Are you a Ginzo?
I'm pretty much the same as Chris, except I have a little Polish in me.
Oh, there you go.
So Italian, Irish, Polish.
John has a little Polish in him. That didn't sound right. A little Polish in him. Only on the weekend. Hold on. We got the chat going. I like when the chat going. Are you Italian? I'm from Greece. Holy smokes, we got a Greece. How about that?
You had a New Zealander.
New Zealand, yeah. And King Clan, unfortunately, he's not here today. He's probably watching the debate. That's fine. But he's from Scotland, and he is a good guy.
For the guy from Greece. Chris, ask the guy what he thinks of our election if they talk about it over there in Greece.
That is a good question. So the circus that's going on over here, okay, we got Trump, we got Hillary in the octagon together, in the cage. What do you guys think? Like, is this completely bonkers? You guys think that us U.S. people are just nuts for what's going on over here? We need to know. We don't want to talk politics, but we want to know what you think.
I got to know what they think.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I think they're watching a reality TV show.
I think it's nuts. I can imagine if you're in another country right now, you got to be like, what the well, they got to be
actually, must be like, hey, I thought we were fucked up.
It says the Patriots here in Greece support Trump, of course. So there you go. There you go. You got Trump supporters in Greece. I'm sure you have Greek DNA, Chris. Well, maybe I do. It's possible. You never know.
Hey, I'm 100% Italian, and I, as crazy as it sounds, I probably have African and Muslim and you name it. Everybody conquered Sicily.
Okay, Michael John is here. He says Sage versus Gal. Who wins?
Gal.
We got one gal. Johnny, who do you say? Johnny's watching the Rangers.
Rangers are done.
Who's starting in goal for the Rangers?
Ugh.
Who?
Lundqvist played.
Yep.
Lundqvist played. They 2-1.
The other kid looked good. He let in, 5 goals the other night? That was great.
I think they better do something in this year, next year, because Lundqvist is on his way out.
He is. He's another one. We met him. He is a freaking dude. We DJ'd a party for this guy.
Did you really?
It was so cool. Yeah, he was on the cover. We got lucky. This magazine that we do things for is awesome. We meet these celebrities, and they come in, they sign autographs, they hang out. Real cool. He walked in. Let me tell you something. When Henrik Lundqvist walked into this party, all the girls were soaked, drenched. They just they were talking to us, and then boom, right to the door. Love this guy. This guy is a stud. He should just stop playing hockey and go.
Is he married?
Yes, he is married. Yeah, he is. But total gentleman, man. Real nice guy. Johnny, Gal or Northcutt? Who do you got?
I would say Gal would have a great shot at winning that fight, but I don't know. Sage is pretty good. I'm gonna go Sage on this one.
You're gonna go Sage. Okay, we got split.
Did Northcutt break into the rankings? No, right? He's still just kind of like a prospect.
No, I don't think Northcutt is in the rankings. No. And what weight class are they going to fight at? Is Northcutt?
170.
It is 170. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's why I feel for them, because if they move their way up to the rankings, it's like a murderer's row in the top 5, top 6 of the 170 weight class.
Okay, that's very good.
Don't think so, Chris? I think that's one of the toughest divisions.
Oh, 170?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, after seeing what happened to Robbie Lawler, I mean, that blew my mind, man. That blew my mind. I knew he was due. He was due for a loss, but I didn't think Woodley was going to be the one to do it. I was shocked.
What shocked me was, look at all the beatings that he's took. Never got knocked out. His 2 knockouts is Nick Diaz on a short jab, which shocked me, and the Woodley fight. And I think actually he had an early stoppage that people say Herb Dean screwed him against I forgot who it was, but it was a real early stoppage.
The Diaz brothers are the exception to every rule. Like, it's amazing with their fights. It's like, win or lose, they are exception to every rule. They don't follow the rules. and that's what makes him a lot of fun to watch.
I got a sleeper question. What do you think is going to happen in the because you reminded me with Diaz with the Johnson versus Nurmagomedov fight? They say whoever wins is going to get a title shot.
Is going to get the next title shot? Yeah. Well, after Wonderboy wins, because it's going to happen. Wonderboy's.
Oh, I agree with the Wonderboy, but that's a different weight class, isn't it?
Wait, Wonderboy's. Yeah. Oh shit, that is different. Jesus Christ, I'm losing my mind, guys. I'm losing. Well, let's just blame it on this. That is a different. Okay, so not.
What do you think about that fight, Chris?
All right, so Habib. Hold on, let's backtrack a little bit. Let's go back. Let's go back in time. Habib versus Johnson, right? That's fighting that one.
And Johnson just knocked out Poirier.
Well, listen, Habib's gonna win. I mean, that's just gonna happen. It's you can't. I know he's been out of the game for a little bit, but this guy is he's a savage. He's an absolute.
No one stood up with him though. He takes everybody down. You don't know if he can take a punch.
He's gonna take Johnson down too. I think it's inevitable. I really do. Johnson's gonna be prepared. You know, it's funny. I guess. You know, Johnson against Poirier was like a coming out party for him. You know, that was pretty good.
Some of those shots. What it sounded like, how hard they were. Him and Poirier. I mean, that was brutally brutal. He throws shots. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe how hard that kid hits.
Khabib could stand though. I can't even fucking say his name, but he could stand.
I can't remember off the top of my head any fight that he was standing up in.
Well, it doesn't last very long, but he'll stand there and trade with you. He will. He definitely will. Hold on.
I'm just asking.
Hold on. I'm gonna go back. We're gonna go back to the videotape.
And another thing that people think is he finishes all his fights in the first round, but if I'm not mistaken, he had a couple of decisions. So people have lasted with him.
Oh, I type in Khabib and Kebab comes up. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
He had a couple of decisions mixed in there. So I'm curious to see who stood with them and lasted.
He did. You are correct. He did have decisions. Okay, let's pull this up. And we're going to take a walk down memory lane. I wish he did stay a little more healthy and more.
The last guy that he fought my buddy Chris Ligori, and he was a good guy.
Shit, you're right.
The Orchard. He fought Chris Ligori in Ring of Combat.
So just going back to that, you said you went to school with this guy?
Yeah, he's my he actually worked for me for a couple of years. He's my best friend. I went to school with him since I was 5th grade.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. He was a pretty damn good fighter. If I do remember correctly, he wasn't a bad fighter. No slaps.
He was journeyman, and Matt Serra actually said in an interview one time with Joe Rogan that he was a victim of timing. He started so early. His first fight was at 16. That's why he's in. He was in the same Hall of Fame class as Mark Henry. He made it to the New Jersey Hall of Fame. But if you see some of the guys that he fought, they all went on to be pros. In fact, he beat the immortal Matt Brown.
Wow, huh? You know, Matt Brown is another one. He seems like right now, I mean, back in the day, he was the shit. And the fact that he beat him is pretty impressive. But, well, that's you talking right there. Hold on. Sorry about that. But Matt Brown looks like he's on a decline now. But the fact that he beat him back in the day is that's pretty impressive. Wow.
Yeah, Chris was a good fighter, but he became a tester. And what they mean by that is if you're an upcoming guy like Sage Northcutt, they'll throw in a guy that has a decent record, over 500, but it's a journeyman, never going to get a title fight, but see if you could last with him. If you could last with him, then you work your way to the next level. And that's what he was known for. And that's why sometimes you can't really trust records, because a perfect example of that is Artem Lobov, that Russian hammer. He's got a 500 record, I think dead even, 10-10, or 12-12. But if you look at some of the guys he fought, it's not like American fighters like this site, that you could see a lot of guys that you recognize. He didn't fight any guys that you could recognize, but from what I heard, he fought beasts and never turned down a fight. So just because your record has a lot of losses on it doesn't necessarily mean you suck.
Yeah, Seaver. There's a lot of fighters like that they're stepping stones for these guys that they think are stepping stones, but sometimes it backfires on them. Lobov.
Well, you know who became one of those is the Carpenter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. I'm looking through this right now. This is.
I don't know.
This is the terrorist. I mean Khabib. Sorry. Okay. So here we go. Upcoming. We know that's the Michael Johnson fight right here. Okay. We know about this one here. Now we're going to go back in time. We're going to go to 2014, which is crazy. And then you look at the decisions. He's got decision, 3 decisions.
I think that Chris Ligori to come in. I'll call him up and see if he'll come on the show.
Dude, if you did that, that'd be crazy. John would take that cock that wraps around his brain and he would put it in his pants just in case it might come out and get erect for a second.
Hold that thought. I'm gonna make a phone call real quick. I'll see if I can get him on the show. He loves this shit.
Oh, that'd be dope.
I'll say that you want to do an interview with him one-on-one and, ask him some things. Just do me a favor. Don't get me killed. Don't ask him about the terrorist stuff.
I'll make sure to let that slide, that part. We'll put that between the MMA holes.
Yeah, the terrorist stuff slide, Chris. It'll be all great.
Johnny else. Johnny, how you doing, Johnny? Okay, here we go. We got in the comments. We see I gotta pick Sage. Powerhouse pick Sage. Sage has some crisp striking. This is from Powerhouse. Bad head movement, though. Wants to pick Gal, but he just hasn't had enough. Well, he doesn't give. Oh, Jesus, I got to stop drinking. Johnny, this is what happens when you slip the scotch in. Sometimes it gets a little silly and stupid. Just hasn't given us enough to go off of. Okay, I agree with that. Sage is still that weird thing. He's in that weird place right now, and he's going a little up in weight. He doesn't have to cut, but he's fighting a bigger guy. It'd be tough. But he picks Sage. Powerhouse picks Sage, John. John, you said you picked Sage, correct?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I just think the kid, he's up and coming. And Gale, I don't think we've seen enough of him to judge it. So Gale could definitely win. But
the thing is, both of them,
I've seen a little more Sage.
Both of them got luck of timing on being on looking for a fight, because honestly, they would still be in the circuit trying to earn their way up.
Yeah, absolutely. I love what Mickey Gall is doing. He says all the right things. He does all the right things, and he backs it up. Sage is just that weird. He's a weird dude, man. But he's got everything going for him. So don't hate watching him fight. Powerhouse got Johnson. Looks like Johnson wins, but he says if he wins, he doesn't get a shot. If Johnson wins, he doesn't get a shot. I can't argue that.
Yeah, I can't argue with that either. That makes pretty much sense, because it's in the 140. It's in the 155 class. If Johnson wins, you got to figure Connor's fight is going to play a big role. And if Connor wins and has 2 belts, I highly doubt that his first title defense would be against the Johnson. Now, Nurmagomedov, I totally picture, and that would be a nightmare for Connor. Literally a nightmare.
Oh, for sure. You said 55 was the toughest weight class, if I'm not mistaken, and you are.
Well, 55 is a really tough weight class, but I think 170, when you look at their top 5, it's a murderer's row.
Really? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it's tough to argue.
Look at the ranking. Top 5.
Let me pull that up. That's a good question. I always look at 55 and I'm like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Like, it just keeps going down to 10. Let's see.
Well, it's like what we were talking about last week. Out of all the fighters in the 55, and as crazy as this sounds, probably the easiest match in the top 5 is the champion for Conor, is Alvarez. But under Alvarez, think about it. You got Cowboy. You got what's it called? Javier Dos Anjos. You got you got to look it up, because I know all the fighters. I just can't think of them right now. You got Javier Dos Anjos. You got who's another 55? Where you got?
Yeah, present this for you guys. Here we go.
You got Ferguson. You got Nate Diaz. You got Barboza. I mean, these are beasts.
Yeah, dude, 155. See, I would have to say.
I mean, but Poirier, he murked. Melendez, I think, is a beast. I mean, that was probably one of the best fights I've ever seen. Melendez versus where is he?
I got to say, it's looking at this right now, just looking at it quickly, 155 to me is easily the most stacked division. I mean, you go down 1 to 10, you got all studs. You got them all studs.
Look at the Woodley weight class. You got Lawler, you got Thompson, Conduit, Maya, Galveston, Cerrone, Hendricks. I mean, Gastelum suspect. I think the guy's a great fighter, but he doesn't know where the hell he is with his weight and stuff like that. I don't know what his deal is. Carlos Condit is another one. He doesn't even know if he wants to fight anymore. Cerrone doesn't even know what division he's at. He belongs at 170. Johnny Hendricks can't even make weight anymore. I know.
Lorenz Larkin, he looked fantastic. I guess he's in the UFC still. I thought he was leaving.
Young Kim is a beast, but he's kind of like on a decline. Rick Story got murked.
Yeah, in my opinion,
great.
If you
never seen him fight.
Yeah, 155. I'm just going to look at other ones right now, but 155 to me, actually 145 you can make an argument too, but no, not as deep. deep lightweight is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And you got Cowboy jumped back. You know, he could jump back and forth there. Khabib, Dos Anjos, Ferguson, Diaz, Barboza, Michael Johnson.
The division got lost is the 145. After Conor won that, it's kind of like a lost division because Frankie Edgar, you know, he already did his thing. Aldo's always been great. But after Max Holloway, you basically got punching bags for a guy like Conor. They really didn't put enough effort in it once Conor won.
Well, I see Pettis wants to go in there and jolt that division. I want to see Max Holloway win that belt so fucking bad. I want to see McGregor.
Ruined it, man.
Yeah, McGregor. Let's let McGregor fucking vacate it. Let's see Holloway versus Aldo. Please just give that to me, please. That's all I want to see, and I want to see Holloway win. That's it.
If Aldo relinquishes his belt, tell me how great it would be to see Max Holloway versus Pettis for the remaining belt, and then the winner fight Conor.
Yeah, I would take that in a second. I'm not a huge Pettis guy. Holloway I like a lot. I really do. And even rewatching that fight, the respect that him and McGregor went 3 rounds, great fucking fight. Holloway's a great fighter. He's a lot better now. Guy's a beast, man, and he's a respectful beast. I like that. Johnny, what do you think? Out of coming from the L's, out of all these divisions over here, who do you think? Which division would you pull as the most diesel?
I think lightweight bar is the toughest division. But getting back to the featherweight, don't forget McGregor's boy that the who the fuck are you guy. That guy Stevens is up and coming. You might see him.
He's got like 12 losses.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Joey makes a good point. He does have around 12 losses, but he isn't.
I'm just looking at the fact that he beats Edgar. He's going to jump into that. He'll be in the conversation for a top 5 fight.
He's one of those guys. If he doesn't knock you out, though, he never does it. He never.
Yeah, he goes. You're right.
Got to knock you out, or the fight's done.
He might be one of those guys that does it, comes back around. Like those, like how Robbie Lawler did it, like came back around and Rumble.
Well, he's from the Lawler school. He trained with Lawler and in the Matt Militich camp.
Yeah, so that might be a thing. He might have found himself. It might be a completely different fighter. When you look at his record,
he lost to some good people. Cub Swanson beat him. He's a beast. Max Holloway beat him. He's great. Oliveira, he's a top 10 guy.
Yeah, no, this is a pretty good list right here. So you can't really kill the guy.
He beat Henan Barao, but he's on a decline. He beat Bermudez. He's a good fighter. Elkins, I really don't know. Rory Johnson, I don't know. Yeah, he beat not really big people, and he lost to the big people that they tried to test him with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he earned his stripes having 3 in a row. They gave him Cub Swanson, and he got a decision loss. Actually, his losses are mostly decisions. So, yeah, maybe he's a lot better than I thought. Good call, John.
Well, I'm just saying, with him is just, I think that this Edgar fight's a big stepping stone for him. I'm not saying he's going to.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Exactly. But he beats Frankie, which I don't think so, because I'm a big Frankie guy too. I think Frankie's
the real Rocky.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. I like that.
He's always an underdog,
and
people could say he's a decision machine, but look at who he fights. And he's always on the big stage. You never see Frankie unless it's 205 when look who's fighting.
Johnny, what were you saying? I heard you jumped in for a second.
No, that was exactly what it was. I think Frank, for Stevens, this is like a big make or break fight because, like you guys said, he's got a little losses. If he takes out Frankie, he's in the consideration of that top 4 fight. And if he loses to Frankie, then he's probably going to be a forgotten man in that division.
Especially opening up his mouth. You got to remember that. That adds to it. People love watching somebody that runs their mouth get knocked out. If he would have kept quiet, like Frankie does, you don't ever hear Frankie talking shit, but look at all the fans he has. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to talk and be like Conor if you're not like Conor. That's why if you watch that the UFC 199 press conference, a lot of people were making fun of him saying, you're just trying to remake UFC 194's press conference because they all wanted to be like Conor. Like Weidman picked the fight with I forgot who he picked the fight with on the dais.
and they literally said, "What's the matter with you?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm tired of this now. You talk stuff at the camp," and you look at Frankie at Dana White's face. He started laughing because it was so obvious they were trying to be like Conor. But I think if it comes natural, it's so much better because people could see right through it.
You hit the nail on the head, Joey. Chael Sonnen actually said the exact same thing that you said to the T. That it's a great point. The problem with the UFC now is you see people dressing like Conor, you see people talking like Conor, and they're not bringing on their persona. They're not creating their own identity, and it's a big mistake because you can't replicate what Conor's doing. Conor's doing his thing. So what Chael said, and like what you said, Joe, you have to create your own persona. You have to be your own person for the fans. Fans are going to like you no matter what. Fans like Frankie Edgar for being Frankie Edgar. You have to be the person. You have to create your own character and stay with that. You can't bounce. Tony Ferguson all of a sudden gets a nice suit and is trying to do his Conor McGregor thing. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
He doesn't have to.
No, he's a great fighter, and you do what you do you. That's it, you know?
When I think of certain fighters, I picture like a Conor McGregor getting out of a limo, taking his suitcase, a briefcase in with his fight clothes in it, walking into the arena, and I picture that, and I can see it clear as day. When I see Frankie Edgar, I almost picture him coming in on a pickup truck and bringing his lunchbox, getting ready to go to work and work his ass off in the ring, and that's what comes out, and that's what comes across when he talks. So if you just stick with your persona, I didn't know Chael said it, I think it's your best marketing strategy.
For sure. Frankie Edgar is a super likable guy. He's done his thing. He's done what he had to do. The guy is, I mean, the guy's a great fighter. He really is, you know, and he's still doing his thing. And a lot of people like him. He has a lot of fans, and I think a lot of fighters should follow in his footsteps.
He's underrated.
Do I think Edgar is? The problem is I don't think people are educated enough to know that, you know, Edgar, man. Edgar did his thing. The fact that he lost to Aldo the way he lost to Aldo, look what he did to BJ Penn. I mean, I know BJ Penn was, you know, on his way out, but Jesus Christ, that was a beat.
He wasn't on his way out in Abu Dhabi, though.
No. That's actually, you know what? That's a good point. I forgot about that. That is a very good point.
Look at he had, like, everybody knows what's happening now because they forget about the past, but just like how everybody's pumped up about this Nate Diaz, that's exactly what was happening with the Gray Maynard fights. I mean, these were wars, man. And it was at 155 when, in theory, he should be a 135 because he walks around at 145, 150. So he's really not cutting.
I see Powerhouse says, I want to see Aldo Pettis. Okay, we all do. But the fight should be Holloway versus Aldo. Okay, I think either way, you got a good fight there. I think either way, it's fun. Powerhouse is back again. He says, for the real title, fuck that interim bullshit. Okay?
Fuck that.
Fook is right. Cormier. He just says Cormier. Powerhouse just throws Cormier out there. That's John's guy, Cormier. John likes Cormier, right?
Do you, John?
Bitch.
John hates
No.
I was going to say, I can't stand him.
Yeah, I'm in the minority with that one. I like Cormier. I like Cormier because he looks
a great guy. He's a great announcer.
Yeah, he's got a good voice. Yeah, I can see how he could get on people's nerves. I like the fact that he just doesn't. You look at him, you don't see a fighter.
You watch Tommy Toehold?
What's that? Oh, dude, freaking hilarious!
How funny it is when they have him talking to John Bones Jones, and Bones is always like, Daniel, what's it called? Respectfully, I'm going to demolish you. Respectfully, God, that is the funniest show. It's not even, dude.
His impressions are so on point. It's not even funny. It's even when they did it when Jones got pulled over.
Respectfully, I was totally driving the speed.
Yeah, he's brilliant, that guy. And I think he's on the radar. I think Dana White has seen his stuff and stuff like that.
Well, you saw Ronda Rousey wore one of his shirts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when she was doing an interview. So people know about him. I heard Nate Diaz hated him so much that he threatened him because his Nate Diaz impressions are classic.
Yeah,
where he gives shout-outs to everything. Where he's like, shout out to Ninja Turtles because they sick as fuck.
Yeah, John, you see that guy's hilarious. He's really funny.
John, you know about that?
Like, let's do this shit.
Yeah. John, you watch that?
I don't watch it religiously. I watch the one with the John Jones getting pulled over, though.
Oh, so Powerhouse was talking.
Watch the Team Alpha Male sleepover. That had my stomach hurt because everybody has a voice, obviously, because he does impressions. But his Nate and Nick Diaz impressions are dead on. But the Alpha Male impressions, he makes like they're all little kids and they're sleeping at Uriah Faber's house. It's fucking hysterical.
Powerhouse brings up the why I've been talking shit at the presser to Cormier when the whole thing was going down with John Jones and Cormier was sitting there and it was New York versus whatever, West Coast, East Coast shit. That's what Powerhouse was out there. Johnny, yeah, I know. We were there drinking the brewskis.
Man, you guys go everywhere, dude.
Well, that was the same. That was McGregor Diaz one. That was the same. Same.
Were you at the same press conference I was at? I think we talked about it last week. Were you at the UFC 200 press conferences?
This kills me. Our buddy Mike that was supposed to be in, I don't know where he is, but yeah, we were supposed to be at that one, but that just we thought the wives would get a little upset, and we bailed on that one. So
that wasn't the water throwing one. That was just the one where Connor was talking about Nate when 202 was just announced.
Yeah, no, we weren't for that. No, that was yeah, no, I know what you're talking about with that one. Actually,
I wish I was at the original Nate Diaz press conference where they were at the gym, where it was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck either.
Dude, that was great. That was great. You know, at some random gym. Which gym was that? Was that Connor?
That was UFC gym of LA.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they were just sitting there. Dude, Nate Diaz came in. That was the perfect pick. I understand there could have been like Cowboy would have been a good one too, but I think Nate Diaz was the perfect one for that situation.
I don't think it would have made for what it became if it was Cowboy. You
Yeah.
know? Cowboy doesn't have that attitude that mixed perfectly with Nate. I personally think years from now, you're going to see him doing like a Sunday morning interview on like HBO or something like that talking about Remember When, because it was just the time period, man. It was just like a chunk of history that will never be repeated, those two fights. And I hope that it ends with a trilogy because it really made Diaz's life. He got $2 million guaranteed for the fight, plus all that money with pay-per-views, and there was nobody in this world of fighting that was more deserving of that money.
Are we going to see a 3?
I pray.
That'd be nice, right? On the way out. John, are we going to see a 3?
We'll go see the 3, but I don't know if it's ever going to happen. You know, everything's going to depend on what McGregor says after 205, you know?
Yeah. Are you guys going to 205?
So I was saying before, I have to DJ a freaking party, and we've been trying to get out of this.
Get out of it, though, right?
We were trying to get out of this for the long.
Are you the main DJ of the DJ group?
I'm sorry.
You're the main one, Chris, of the DJ group?
Yeah, me and Mike, the guy that jumps in. I'm trying to get him in the chat right now. I don't know where he is. He has all the connections. We started a company called Duplex Entertainment, and we do like DJing and all that stuff. And he hooks us up with the cool gigs, like the really cool stuff. This happens to be not the coolest.
Are you the actual DJ that's standing behind the mic saying?
Yeah, that's me. I am trying to gear. Thank you. I'm trying to gear more towards photography now. That's why I'm trying to push my business. But we still do the DJing. We try to just do events now. Like we'll do like
commercial photography. Like I said, in my business, I do facilities work for retail stores nationally, and a lot of times they want website pictures and stuff. I mean, it's not beautiful artistic pictures, but it's like a guy walking out of the store with perfect example. Have you ever been to the All Saints store in the Village?
the All Saints store.
Because All Saints is a very trendy store. They're scattered all over the country, but they're always in ritzy communities. And some of the places that you've named, you were in the area with. Like they're in Lincoln Road in Miami. Have you ever been to Miami? I think you said you were.
I've been, but a long time ago.
Okay, well, they're on Lincoln Road, which is like a real trendy street. They're on Houston Street in the Village, so you know that type of street. They're on Broadway and Broadway and I forgot the crossroad. But they're in all major, like in L.A., they're right across the street from the Ivy. That's where I met Jesse Jackson because I went to the Ivy for lunch, and Jesse Jackson was right across the street. But those are the type of places that they want to have pictures so they could show people, you know, their type of store. And if you ever go to their store, it's art in like the coolest form. Like I work for Polo. It's a basic store. It's just a basic outline, nothing special. You walk into their store, they got 300-year-old, literally 300-year-old wood that they buy old barns and stuff in auctions, break it down and put it on the floor so it has a rustic look. Their whole their symbol is a bullhead, but people don't even know it because in every one of their stores, this is how you might recognize the store. They have like 1,000 or more sewing machines in their window, but they're all Singer sewing machines from the 30s. So it's very artistic, man, and it's awesome. And they take a lot of pictures in black and white and, you know, get that industrial feel to it. And I just, whenever I'm asked, I always pass up on jobs like that. But if you're interested in doing something like that, they pay big money.
Wow, it's pretty cool, actually. I wanted to ask you, you said that you worked for Polo. Did you have a store in the Cosmo? Because my buddy Mike was actually talking to me. Because he's
No, the store, yeah, the store in the Cosmo that I have is an All Saints store.
Oh, okay.
But I do have Polos all over the West Coast. And, yes, I believe I know we have a store in Las Vegas. I don't know exactly what hotel it's in.
Oh, okay. No, I was just curious because my buddy,
He's in Bellagio, to be honest with you. But it might be under a different name because Club Monaco is owned by Polo, too.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, when we go, we usually go to the Cosmo. We're usually there or Aura. Those are the two spots that we hit up.
Beautiful, isn't it? Cosmo?
Cosmo's great. It's a good.
I love it.
Yeah. Johnny knows, right? Johnny Cosmo? What do you think? Johnny Cosmo?
Nah, no good.
We used to do Vegas every September. That was like the deal. We would go every September, and then
That's
we went.
That's the greatest time to go, I think. It's the perfect time of the year. I go there. I've been there the last 3 summers for basically the whole month of July because it's normally when like the big fights are and stuff like that. Plus, I get work done, and my cousin lives out there. But it's just stifling hot, man. Stifling. We went out into the desert this year. I should post up the video sometime. But we went out into the desert. We're shooting guns, and I'm not used to it. I'm a Jersey guy. You're from the local area, so you know we're not big into carrying guns on holsters. You know what I'm saying? So we went to Walmart, of all places, to buy bullets. So my cousin and his friend were out there, we're shooting guns, and I start getting nervous because I'm like, look, we're in the middle of the desert. What if somebody does something to us and they just leave? Who's going to find us, blah, blah, blah. So my cousin's like, oh, man, get Jersey out of your head. You're not there. It's not going to happen. I'm like, look, I live in New Jersey, but it's not like Sopranos every day. I'm just saying, what if somebody does something? So as we're talking, I hear, pew, 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 and I'm like, what is that? And he's like, oh, it's somebody probably shooting. It's a ricochet. All of a sudden, I hear, boom, one more time. And you could tell it was right by us. He walked over the hill, and there's 3 guys and a girl literally throwing bottles up in the air and shooting it at him, not caring where the bullets land. I was shooting a brick, Chris, shooting a brick. It's a different world out there, man.
Yeah. East Coast, yeah. The whole different animal over there. Absolutely.
I had heat stroke from being out there, just sitting in the desert. Not a serious heat stroke that I need to go to the hospital, but I got dry mouth. Threw up. It was horrible, man. It was really horrible.
You just made 40 people just unsubscribe from that story.
Oh, come on.
I see Israelis is back. I'm definitely saying this name wrong. It says Israelis Jesus Christ. I don't know. We're going to call you Jesus Christ.
It is Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Well, that's what we're going to call you. Cerrone is the one fighter. When Conor picked Diaz, he picked the whole Diaz family, Nick Diaz, and his coaches. That's why Conor wins prize. Plus, Nate did have a win with Cerrone. You're correct.
Yeah, a good one at that. After the fight, you see Cerrone walk up to him, and it's live on camera saying, "You are one tough motherfucker," quote unquote.
It's funny, and then we were talking about that last week.
He broke his jaw.
Oh, he broke Cerrone's jaw
in the fight. Yeah, first round.
I didn't.
Just like when you see Frankie Edgar fought Benson Henderson, he broke his nose in the beginning of the 2nd round and still fought a 5-round war. With the upkick, remember the upkick?
Mm-hmm. No, I do remember that.
You couldn't get killed from a shot like that because if you hit the nose under it, it could pierce your brain.
Henderson, Chandler. That's coming up in a couple of weeks in Bellator.
Is it really?
Yep.
Benson Henderson's fighting Chandler?
Yeah, it's in like
Bellator?
It's going up against a UFC fight, actually. I was looking up.
It can't be the same weekend as 205.
No, I don't. I think it's against a fight night, Henderson.
Well, what's good about it is it's going to be free because it's Bellator, and it'll probably be on a Friday. As soon as they start making a card with all UFC fighters from the past, they're going to start going to pay-per-view, and then Bellator has a shot. They need a new matchmaker. That's all they need, and they have the perfect organization.
So it says this one is – hold on, I'll pull this up. No, let's see. November 19th. Okay, so it's not against 205.
A week later.
Yeah, so I think – yeah, I think there's a fight night. 19th, yeah. So you got that's going up against that is a Saturday. Bader Nogueira.
Wow.
How about that? I think I'll be watching Benson versus
I love Nogueira's first name.
Bellator 163. Is that a freebie? I'm curious. They usually, I mean, they haven't had a pay-per-view since the last disaster where,
The Kimbo.
yeah, it's probably going to be a regular. I mean, I don't think Henderson's got a shot. That's going to be interesting, though. That's going to be an interesting fight between the two of those guys.
Henderson reminds me of the Jets in football. Sometimes he goes to his opponent. If his opponent sucks, he sucks. If his opponent's good, he's good. Chandler might bring the best out of him.
How the hell did he beat Thatch? I still can't figure that out. I don't understand that one. That one, it's one that just sticks. Henderson, when he fought Brendan Thatch, went to 170 right before.
Oh, yeah. But wait a second. Didn't he lose his first fight in Bellator?
He lost his first fight in Bellator, but this is the last fight, his last UFC fight. He went up to 170 and fought Brandon Thatch.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Thatch left the UFC, didn't he? Did he leave after that fight or get cut?
No, I think he's still with the UFC. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I think he's still with the UFC.
He's like a Fight Pass fighter, though, I think.
He was undefeated, and then he fought.
Yeah, but you don't really see a lot of him, I don't think, anymore, do you?
I know he has a fight coming up. Hold on, let me see. I'm not sure. I'm almost positive it's with the UFC. He was a stud for a while. This guy was a good fighter, and then he fights Henderson, who goes up in weight and then whoops him. Ruckus. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up right now.
You know who was a real good stud that demolished his own career with one punch? Daly. Remember Daly? He fights for Bellator.
Daly. What was his first name? I can't remember for some reason.
I think John Daly.
John Daly. Well, I'm actually drawing a blank. John Daly.
And he punched the kid after the fight ended. He walked up to him and punched it.
Oh man. What weight class?
Yeah, John Daly. MMA. He was a beast.
Let's check it out. John Daly. Let's check it out.
Paul Daly, I think. No.
Yeah, I don't know. The first name might be wrong. Well, regardless. Wow, this guy lost 3 in a row. I know. All right, so the Henderson, he lost. Oh, he lost the Gunner too. Dude, this guy. Look at this. This guy was the shit for a while. Look at this little streak he went on. He was killing it, and then all of a sudden, Paul
Daly. He's a beast, bro. His record is 38-14, and he went on winning streaks. I mean, the losses are all scattered, so the 14 losses mean nothing because he went on.
Oh, the Bellator kid. Yes.
But he was also in UFC for 3 fights in UFC, and he fought Henderson and.
Yeah,
he's a beast. He fought a lot of big people.
The English kid. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, here we go. Paul Daly. Yeah, he's good, man. I forgot he was in the UFC. I totally forgot about that.
He punched the ref. Punched the guy that was standing next to the ref and clipped the ref. And what's it called? Dana White just said he will never fight in my organization again, ever.
He lost to Woodley in 2011. In Strikeforce. Wow, this guy's been around for a while.
He fought Bellator Strikeforce.
I'm trying to look for the UFC fights. I don't remember him in the UFC.
Yeah, he was in UFC.
Daily.
Look down to
Hold on, I'm gonna present this to everybody so we could all see. All right, so let's start over here.
Bama, BFC, Bama.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know for sure the Bellator. I didn't know he was in Strikeforce either. Here's Strikeforce. Yeah, I don't know. I think he came from Strikeforce.
UFC 113.
Here we go. You're right. There it is.
Look, if you notice, he won in all of them, except for the last one.
Yep. Wow,
and he punched the guy because it was a decision that he didn't agree with.
Fighting for a while. Black don't crack, man. Black don't crack.
Black don't crack.
2010, 20. Wow, man. Yeah, this guy's been around for a while. The first I recall of him was in Bellator. I don't even remember him in Strikeforce. I remember Tyrone Woodley in Strikeforce. He lost to Diaz, Woodley, but in Bellator he's been very. What did he lose? Douglas Lima. Oh shit, that's right. Yeah, he's a stud, man. 38, 14, and 2. He's been around for a little bit, huh? Shit. Yeah. Pretty crazy. All right. So we've been on for way long. Okay, let's see. Let's check out these the chat, and we're gonna wind this puppy down. That's what I was saying. Cerrone is the only one fighter. When Conor picked Diaz, he picked the whole Diaz family. Nick Diaz, the coaches. That's why Conor's win is priceless. Plus, Nate had one Cerrone. Nate had one Cerrone. I'm assuming that you're saying that Nate beat Cerrone, which is correct. Bobby Lashley is on Bellator 162 co-main event. He is fun to watch. Yeah, we will be watching, and we might be broadcasting. If you want to see a broadcast, what was that?
Come on.
I hear you.
My computer shut down.
Oh shit! I see something. I see a little bit of something. I see black.
Here I am.
There you are. These damn computers.
I unplugged it and I went outside.
It's all good. All right, so we're going to wind this puppy down. We're going on to midnight right now. We had a nice, long, sexy show with the MMA holes here. We had Johnny, full-length Johnny. We had full-length Joey. Pretty good. I liked the conversation. We went on against the debate, and we crushed it. We killed it. We talked to MMA. We kept it going. The Rangers lost. Fuck them. Who cares? What are you going to do?
So how do I get in contact to get on or to see your show again on Friday if you do the Bellator, which I think is a great idea?
I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to talk around. I'm going to see if we can get a little fight buddy going on. And then what I'll do is you're subscribed. So I think you're subscribed, right, John?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're subscribed.
When are you going to do the live one for the, not to interrupt, the live one for the photo shoot or something? Because I was thinking about going to like a bar in the city, posting up a couple of guys in the back corner and doing the show, because then I could work my magic and get maybe Chris and a couple other guys when they're coming out of training with Gracie, and just tell them, hey, come in for a drink and do an interview, because then it's not going out of their way. It's not really beating them up and begging them, because they're in the city anyway. I know Chris will do it, but I'm sure you want to talk to like a Frankie Edgar type.
I will talk to anybody. That show is going to be on Tuesday. We're going to try to simulcast it. Mike didn't come in, so we're going to try to simulcast it. This might be him right here. Hold on. Let me just double check. Mike is driving. That's why he's not here. Okay. He did the broadcast half drunk, half driving last time. That wasn't good. So I'm going to do it safely this time. I think I'm going to come on Friday for a little bit. I'm going to do a quick broadcast on Friday. Hopefully we get it done during Bellator, and we're going to have the details about Tuesday. We're going to talk about that. If we can't broadcast, the problem is the magazine that we're doing this for, they want us to stream for them. And my argument is, if we're going to stream for you guys, we want to simulcast it. We want to have a computer here, and have both things going at once so we can talk to everybody, simulcast. That's the deal. If that doesn't happen, we're going to have to Facebook Live it. That'd be the next thing. We'll vlog it and do that stuff and get that going. But I want to get live stuff. If we're going to meet Wyman and we're going to meet Wonder Boy, I want the MMA holes to meet him at the exact same time we meet him. So Tuesday, we're going to get the times out. It's going to be early in the morning. It's going to be all day long. And we're going to try to get a stream going for that. We'll keep you posted on Friday. I'm going to try to get back on. You'll see, if you're subscribed, you'll see it in your thing. It's going to pop up. MMA holes will be streaming on Friday. John's going to be there naked, no pants.
I'm wearing pants now.
Count me in.
So I promise you, MMA holes and John with no pants. That's going to work.
Hey, John, is he telling the truth? If you're going to be naked, I'm in.
We're going totally naked, all of us.
Yes.
We're going to hang out with our wangs out. That's what's going to happen. Is Jesus Christ says, here is 7 in.m. Woo!
Where are you coming from, Israel?
Holy
Heaven?
I think he's the Greece. I think he's Mr. Greece. I think
he's in Greece. No, well, Greece is 7 o'clock in the morning. I thought that, 6 hours ahead. You're right.
He said, Joey, here we go. This is for Joey. You are a pleasure, brother, to watch and listen. He likes you, Joey. Joey, you have a fan. Jesus Christ.
Thank you,
Christ, you're a fan.
Thank you, bud.
He's in your corner. If you have any more stories, our ears are open and available. His ears are open and available.
Awesome, man. Hey, John, I mean, whoever said that, thank you so much. But Chris, I meant what I said, man, I look forward to this show on a weekly basis. I've talked about it to people. Hopefully they're coming in to watch. But it's a pleasure, man. I really mean it. I love shooting the shit with you guys.
It's a pleasure having you on with us. Last week was great. This week was even better, and you did a great job, Joey. Thank you for.
I hope you're being real when you say that, because I really mean it, man. The last thing I want to do is intrude.
Well, we hate you, Joey. And no, oh shit.
I'm gonna go hang myself.
No, Joey, you're good people, man. We think you're a nice part of the MMA-HOLE show, and we like having you on. Johnny can't say that. Oh, I just almost fucking. Sorry, I almost knocked out the microphone there. Johnny can't say
the same, huh?
Johnny totally disagrees with what I'm saying right now. Look at him. Look at him. No.
Johnny, I'll put you in an armbar, bud.
No, we.
My battery's at about 5%, so I'm bouncing.
All right, Johnny.
Johnny.
Johnny, thanks for coming. Johnny, thanks for coming with your pants on. Next time, pants off. We hope that happens.
Off. I want to see mushroom.
The next broadcast.
And his name is John too in Greece. John from Greece. Johnny Grease. All right, Grease. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging with us and hanging this long. He stayed the whole freaking time with us, or she. I don't know. I'm assuming it's a he.
That's awesome, dude. That's all. And I'm so happy that he actually, said he's a fan of me, man.
Yeah.
I finally have a place that I could talk fighting and tell stories that people appreciate it. A lot of times people are like, I don't even know who the hell you're talking about, because they don't care. They don't pay attention to the fighters like we do. Seriously, Chris. I mean, you could probably deal with the same thing. If you're not talking about Conor McGregor or big name guys, they don't know.
Yeah, you hear it all the time. I'm always talking about this stuff, so it's nice to have a place to vent, and this is a place for family. We're all family. We all talk MMA, Bellator, UFC, whatever you want to talk about. We'll talk about it here. And I like that we are building this community. And Joey, you're a nice addition to the community. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. You're good people.
Thank you.
All right, and with that being said, 11:57 on a Wednesday night, we had a debate, but FOOK the debate. Well, I'm probably going to watch it now. I'm doing
it right now.
That's probably going to happen. And whoever you're voting for, I hope that person wins. And thank you again for joining us. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Very important. Share with your friends. Bring your friends aboard. We like to meet people from all over the world to hang out with us. And, Joe, while you're here, you get to listen to this. Oh! Holy shit, that's our outro song. All right, guys. Thank you, Joey, for hanging out. Johnny, thank you for hanging out. Let's try it again. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. Thanks for the chat. Thanks, Joey. Thanks, Johnny. Thanks, everybody. We are the MMA-Holes. Check us out. We're going to be back on Friday night. If you're subscribed, you'll know. Peace out, Joe. Peace out, MMA-Holes. We'll talk to you soon. Be good, my friends.
Awesome.
Hold on. Before we go, there it is. That's what I like. Social media. That's social media right there.
Is that the real belt, Chris?
Yeah, that's definitely that's my belt. I am the champ.
No, I'm saying, but was that a real one?
I'm the 3-weight champion right there. Actually, that belt was from UFC 190. That was the first McGregor one. The first McGregor Diaz.
But that's an actual belt.
Hold on to it. John has a picture with it too. It's not as cool as
the actual belt.
But yeah.
Wow. I heard if you want to buy one,
right, guys.
they're like $1,200.